Hello, hello, friends, and welcome! Hello, it's Mina. Hello. It's so nice to be back after, quite a stream yesterday. seven whole hours. Wow. It was not expecting that, for sure. Not even a little bit. Yeah, so, the plan is today to go through, some of the, where is it? Special content for this game. So, I don't think we got all the accolades. Yeah. So, let's see, we didn't get this one. Ah, we need to do the escapades for that one. Yeah, we didn't do this one. And the goddamn ladders and shovels. For having examined Miss Green's bottle before, right, okay. There's some stuff here. And this is a special one, it's the sword. I wonder what that one is about. Anyway, I'm not really a completionist type, so it's fine. Even if we didn't get it. This is the art book? Is it? No, these are just well, okay, yeah, okay, here we go. Some of the art book stuff. Okay, let's just read through them a little bit and see if there's anything interesting. Hello, I'm Kazuya Nudi, art director and character designer for the game. Let me show you some of the character design and scene setting artwork produced during the development of the Grace Attorney Adventures. Nice. Okay, how do I... Next E. Okay. I started out with a Stoic University student uniform befitting the period, but I didn't want it to be too generic. So I altered the cut of the bag and the sleeves and to add some details to suit the Japan in the world of the Great Ace Attorney. Yeah, and that is true. They are definitely more, like, form-fitting, in a way. This picture was drawn as a reference for Yunosuke's principal in-court camera angle. He has his sword drawn because, well, I just wanted to see what it would look like. Yeah. This is Yunosuke's traveling to Britain outfit. I included the school cap and cape as they lent an obvious period air, being so different to modern clothing. Cute. These sketches are from the very first proposals. No scenarios had been written at the time, so I had Yunosuke younger than he ended up being. And his hairstyle was based more heavily on his descendants than on something faithful to the period. Male hairstyles during the period in Meiji Japan were nowhere near as diverse as they are today. They were either cropped short, side-parted, or swept back. I do like the top knot view. I think that one is pretty cute. Top knot view is... Top knot! Haha! That isn't funny. I'm sorry. I remember drawing these sketches as a way to distract myself when I was stuck on the hairstyle. It turned out they came in useful for explaining how the game works in the game proposal document. Cute. Whilst the overall character design is reasonably uncomplicated, I was conscious that I wanted to convey the unique qualities of this game's world by paying extra attention to the fine details. Yeah, I noticed like the school emblem and the buttons and nice! Okay, love him. Okay. Hello, I'm Kazuya Nuri, art director and character. Let me show you some of the character design scene. Okay, yes. Okay, the theme was this. Okay, the theme of the design. So this is. Oh no, okay, you can't do that. Damn. Oh, it's Q. Okay. Susie. Theme for the design was that of a female student who embodied the principle of Yamato Nadeshiko, or a personification of the quintessential Japanese woman. If you know, you know. I designed a subtle wrap to complement Yunosuke's traveling clothes. And knowing it will only appear in an anime cutscene, I decided to keep the design overwhelmingly simple, with the exception of the clasp. She's so cute. I wanted Sato's hair to be styled appropriately for the period, whilst at the same time being a little out of the ordinary. I ended up with something that looks relatively simple in silhouette, but it's actually quite complicated. It is! I've been trying to figure it out, and I can't. This is an early proposal sketch when it wasn't yet clear how focusy to make Sato. Later, in parallel with Mr. Takumi's scenario development, I got a better feel for her character and softened her into a refined young lady. I do like the bows. The bows are really cute. This image was drawn to help with the anime creation. Anime cutscenes form bridges between various scenarios in the game, so it's vitally important to avoid any discrepancy between renderings of the characters. That is true. It's always my intention to not to interfere with the anime artisans at work, but sometimes minor corrections are required. It's a constant dilemma for me. Dang. Oh, I see. Hair corrections. We gotta talk about the new hair, it's important. Also factoring into Sasato's design was how she would appear alongside Yunosuke. In the end, I think that the contrast in conduct and bearing between the two helps to establish her as a memorable female lead. I love Susato. We all love Susato. Oh my god, homesuit time. To begin with, I brought some steampunk elements to the Victorian era character. No shit, Nudie. No shit. I really love how much thought went into that stupid bag. What I wouldn't give for them to make this bag and it costs like $2,000. I don't care, I'll buy it. Okay, it's careful to preserve the essential features of the Great Detective, such as the deer stalker and the pipe. Arranging them into a character that would be instantly recognizable to all. Okay, right. Oh yeah, oh, he's wearing boots. Oh. Sholmes' equipment is an exception to the rule in that it consists of technology belonging to a much more modern era than the game's setting and takes in fantasy elements from the world of the Great Ace Attorney. When Sholmes' goggles are turned on, the shape in the center of each eyepiece lights up and rotates. It's supposed to conjure the idea of a lens attachment and a camera to complement the detective's investigations. Oh, Vest Sholmes. This Sholmes' indoor attire, since I assumed he wouldn't be comfortable relaxing at home whilst wearing his detective's paraphernalia. His hairstyle is wisps of smoke to complement the indispensable pipe. Ah, yes, I do remember that. This is a sketch I did for the initial proposal document. The image of Sholmes in the midst of analyzing evidence played a crucial part in portraying the souped up role forensic investigation was to play in this game. Is he oh, wait. He's investigating a little bust there. This is a very early proposal sketch. It's supposed to portray a somewhat dark London with a heavy steampunk influences. I love how there's just a fucking just like a board saying steampunk. It's like, this is the steampunk store. Welcome to the steampunk store. Ah! Ladies! Ladies. She is so cute. She really is. Just the cutest. Iris brings together a number of rather eccentric elements of the game world in a subtle and controlled way. I decided to make use of a flower plant motif in Iris's character design. Yeah. Especially that skirt, I really love it. And a little tea bottle! Iris and Sholmes' inventions are, as a rule, far more advanced than the science and technology of the era in which the game is set. Ah, the felt dolls! They're a bear? Yeah, a bear and hair. Yeah. And Iris and Sholmes were originally going to be very instrumental in the story and be shown a lot of close-up detail. They will. I do like the early Iris designs though, they're very... This is an illustration from a time when I had Iris in a hat for her out and about clothing. At the stage, her character hadn't been finalized, so I drew her older than in the final game with a more ladylike air. I still appreciate this Iris. These sketches were done when I was exploring some elements of a magical girl to incorporate into Iris's character design as a way of giving her more punch. She has a much brighter look here than in the previous illustration. Yeah, she just looks smug. I do like the twin tails. I do like these twin tails! A lot! Very, very, very Tetsukas on this chic. Very, love it. This is an illustration I drew when Iris was almost complete and contains all of the key elements to make up her design, though her face is a little more mature than in the final cut. Ah! Azogi. Azogi. I love him. The basic theme for Kazuma's design was of a classic young Japanese man. Yeah, definitely. Whilst Kazuma clearly has the spirit of a samurai, he is also keenly aware as a visiting student hopeful of the shifting cultural attitudes arising from the Meiji period restoration. Also the spats! I love them. Just really wanted to draw Kazuma in the act of drawing his blade, so I included that in the key visual. Nudie just here like, I just wanted to draw it, so... I do like this look. It reminds me of, what's-his-face from My Hero Academia, the one on the left. Reminds me of Ida! Ida, that's his name, right? I don't watch My Hero Academia anymore. I think his name is Ida. It kind of reminds me of him. This is some sketches I did during the transition phase when we were considering who should have glasses. Eventually, we settled on that being Satoru Hosonaga. Ouch, it doesn't count! Whose design I was always working at the time. With the combination of the headband and the glasses, Kazuma took on a far too studious look. So, although I was pleased to have explored the possibility, this was the drawing that convinced me it wasn't the right approach. I love him. The sketch was done, but Kazuma's design was almost finalized. I was hoping to draw both Ryunosuke and Kazuma side by side, wearing matching hats and cloaks. It's a picture I'd like to draw one day. And you did get to do it! His customer plays such an important role in the story, I put a lot of energy into giving him a striking appearance that immediately reveals his dependability and kind-heartedness, as well as his relentless determination. And his bitchiness! Do not forget the bitch. Yes. Our resident alcoholic. Why do I keep doing that? So hard. Okay. Despite the god of death themes suggested for the design, I decided to avoid taking that too literally. Isn't it trying to produce a character whose bearing and present conjured ideas of death and darkness? I made his clothing extremely ostentatious, drawing on elements from a variety of traditionally British ceremonial and military attire. I also added some extra ribcage-like detail around the midriff. Yeah. There's a customer's headband. I knew that realizing Van Seek's cloak in-game would be technically complex, but I also knew it lent a lot of credence to his dark persona, so I was quite insistent about it. We never really got to get to see, like, those details at the bottom of the cape, like, in-game. I would love to see the full model of him wearing that. I wonder if they even modeled that far down. Like, if they even cared to model the cape fully. I would love to know. Love to see it. These rough sketches were my attempt at consolidating my ideas about the prosecutor's image. His look needed to be more than just piercing. It needed to portray a sad and tortured soul as well. Yeah. It's like how do you make him look dead? That's very interesting. This is a very early illustration. I came up with and rejected a lot of different ideas myself over a long period of time. I submitted only the one that resonated most with me to Mr. Takumi and was given the go-ahead to proceed. Yeah, this is a very different idea. I like to consider lots of options in the early stages, so I produce a wide range of drawings at the start of the process. Even if I thought an idea might not be quite right, I put it to paper so I could home in on the perfect design. Yeah. I do like the blue and purple though. Very ooh. I like this one. I remember this one. I kinda like this one. Like, not for Van Seeks, but I would love to see something like this utilized somewhere else. This is a proposal drawing I made just before setting on the final design. Personally, I was quite fond of this one. He has more behind expression than in the final version, and the cloak is modeled on a raven's plumage. I do like it. I do like it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Nayuta, and I really like Nayuta's design. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. I know everybody hates him, but I don't! I love him! I love him a lot, actually. Because that is my life. Because that is definitely. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff in these art books. I really like looking through them. Yay! Right, and this, for anyone who doesn't know much about Ace Attorney games, this is like how the old games looked, like the game kind of like cover. They look like this, with like the four main characters on the front. That's very cute. In this section of the gallery, I'd like to present some of the character design drawings, as well as major characters that were created during the development process. I hope you enjoy them. Dad! I'm sorry. I love Dad. Also, this is him as when he was in Japan. Looks so stylish. Hello. He's so stylish. I love you, Mikotoba. Love you, Dad. Ouchie! Characters design crystallized in an instant. They were like, we know what an ouchie must look like. Oh yeah, and also as you can see here, there was like playing around a bit with the yeah, with the round glasses, because that was more normal at the time, but it was like, it doesn't look like ouchie. To judge the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan, I decided to take a different direction with this judge as compared to previous judges in the series, to accentuate the military atmosphere of the Japanese courtroom at the time. I forgot, his gavel is based on something, but I forgot what it is. I forget what it is. It was based on something specific, but I am very forgetful. Right, the collector. Since the man is a merchant, I initially decided to base his design on Ebisu, one of the 7 gods of fortune, and the traditional Japanese god of prosperity. Stereotypical military man? Oh, right, that's how you do it. Yeah, I thought I'd take the inspiration. Enma, yeah, makes sense. Beard and flames. Made a scabble golden and styled it on the traditional Uchide no Kozuchi magic hammer of Japanese legend. That was it. That was it. But when I showed the rough sketches to Mr. Takumi, for some reason the idea of character being long and thin came up, so switched to another girl, Fukurokutu. Fukurokutu, I think. I'm not entirely sure. As a more fitting source of inspiration. I wanted to have him constantly eating sticky mochi rice cakes, which would get caught in his throat, but it seemed a little too dangerous to portray, so with great self-restraint I stopped myself, lol. Served himself with a military man at the time in order to give players a clear sense of the era. He appears to be a regular, smartly turned outsider, but on his back he harbors a great secret. Baby! Or we consider having him fold Crane's secret as a sideline business, hiding his paper creations behind his back. But after fleshing out the details of Mr. Takumi, the idea of Idonosa came kicking in, yeah. The constantly runny nose is an expression of the poor nutrition children of the time had to suffer. Gosh, and Yes's mustache was deliberately designed so it would be easy for young idol to tuck. Aww. Of course, the similarity of the father-son hairstyles is another detail to not be missed. Yeah. Hosonaga. Wait. Yeah. From the role he plays in the scenarios, I could sense this character has potential for further involvement, so I gave him a more believable appearance than other witnesses. That's so funny. This design is built on the idea of a young man with fragile good looks who wouldn't be out of place even in the most delicate of situations. The reason for the chick motif on the napkin carries as a waiter at La Carnival was a kind of covert foreshadowing of Giselle's involvement, and because the restaurant was originally going to specialize in serving game. Yeah, here it is. Verbally suggested the idea of a chonmaga top knot to Mr. Takumi Hinumi. Here's some sketches of Aoshi with round glasses on since they were the norm in Meiji Japan. There was just too much of a departure from his descended usual look, so I reverted to the normal shape of glasses. Yeah. Sato's father, kindly and stern. Cherry blossom is the emblem of the Mikotoba family. Pink haori overcoat. Clasp is modeled in a cherry tree in full bloom. The hem of Sato's hakama trousers also carry the family crest. Right. Giselle Brett, being the first Western character you encounter in the story, starts to unfold in Japan. I decided to make her a somewhat bizarre fantasy-style gentlewoman who would leave a strong visual impression. It was a deliberate attempt to heighten expectations or trepidation about the overseas voyage soon to follow. The mesh she wears was styled to pair with the eyes of the swan on her hat. So good. I almost eliminated the chicks from Gisele's design on numerous occasions, but they made it through in the end. Yay! Nikolina Pavlova, yes. I designed Nikolina to have an immediately obvious Russian appearance, except her cat with the most Japanese name ever. Her image was based on the idea of a Russian fairy, and I implemented her as a beautiful, reticent young woman of fair complexion. Due to the nature of the story, I was constrained in terms of her clothing, but since there aren't many orthodox female forms in this game, I did try to bring out the telltale lines of a young lady, even through the layers of her disguise. The feline friend is obviously a Russian blue, named Kuropoi. Judge! I made the Japanese judge quite severe. He came in the field of the Japanese courtroom, so I decided to make his English counterpart follow the more kindly appearance of the series' regular judge. He looks way more nice than normal judge, I will say. Like, the red just makes him look so friendly, you know? For example, in contrast to the jagged beard of the Japanese judge, this judge's beard is more fluffy in nature. The wig, by the way, isn't just a visual gag. That's actually what judges of the day wore. Yeah, I do feel like this is probably more interesting to a Japanese audience, because they're like, it has to be a joke, but it's like, no, this is what. I feel like they still do it in some places. Do they still do that? Wait. Let me just check that. Do judges still wear wigs? No, like the modern. You have the modern one? It definitely seems to be... Yep! Okay, in some occasions it seems they still do it, but I don't think it's like all the time anymore. Oh. I also researched the sort of clothing British judges would have worn in that period and used that to create a design that's unique to this game. I love it. The jurors! I was giving instruction that the jurors didn't need any particular idiosyncrasies, but just in case, I thought I'd design some characters with a variety of unique traits, and it was those designs that were picked. Lol. As a result, there was really little difference between the jurors and the witnesses, which meant I'd give myself a lot of extra work to do, but seeing the court battles that include both jurors and witnesses justified all the effort. Souseki! Or boy. Mr. Takumi had asked for Souseki to come across as someone with a very nervous disposition and erratic behavior, so I concluded that his facial expressions would have to be a key part of his design. Yeah. I approached the design from that angle, playing around with various different facial expressions. Even though he's based on a real person, the Souseki of this game has a unique appearance with some heavily exaggerated features. Yep. The emotion expressed by his eyes is a particularly important part of his design. It really is. And specifically we asked to include the cat, but I sketched a tricolor calico at Souseki's feet and was delighted when Wakahai was picked up and used in the game! Wakahai! The single best character of the game. Right, John and Joan Gyarados. I really had to work hard on this pair since they're so intimately tied up with the story. The guiding principle for their design was the sun and moon silhouette, along with the idea of a pufferfish for Joan. Yeah. Compared to the newlyweds of Constable and Mrs. Beat, with their passionate love for each other, the Gyarados are an older couple, and I wanted to show a different form of love in their relationship. Rolly and Pat Beat. And I am still confused because they switched the fucking names for no reason. Ah! Not of pairs of witnesses who appear together in this game, but I had a firm idea of how I wanted these two to interact from the outset, so I actually worked backwards. Single unit, two people moving and acting as one. The scarf that goes around both of their necks is a good example of that. They were modeled on the idea of dolls, wooden marionettes, and porcelain dolls. And are supposed to have fantasy world image despite being virtually penniless to bring out their genuineness and their sweet personalities. It also explains the... yeah, they do kind of look like that. Tobias Guregu-san. St. Gregson is a stereotypical Scotland Yard detective of the day, his collar turned up and the obligatory packet of fish and chips in his hand. As he's always stuffing them in his pockets, I imagine his hands and the lining of his pockets are constantly covered in chip fat, lol. Whenever I see him eating, my stomach starts to rumble. Why would you do this to us, Nudie? I did not want to know that Gregson's pocket is gross. Please, stop. Gina Lestraw. Gina was the character who underwent the most changes as a result of story rewrites. Originally, she wasn't going to be a pickpocket at all. Consequently, I had to redesign her in the latter stages of production process. Her outfit helps to portray her complete lack of money, and Mr. Takumi requested that I make her clothes not quite fit properly as well. That's the reason why her shirt is too large for her, for example. From my perspective, I wanted to allow her feminine spark to shine through from beneath her boyish appearance. She's very lovely. Ew! Gross green man, get out of here. Miles Strongheart. I was aiming for a character who had an immediately palpable presence and whose bearing was overwhelmingly intimidating. This is Nudie speak for I wanted him to look evil on first sight. My initial designs were quite militaristic, but Mr. Takumi asked for Strongheart to have an intellectual image instead, which gave rise to the current look, more reminiscent of a clergyman. His name Vortex in Japanese gave inspiration for the styling of his hair. There are also elements of unicorns woven subtly into the design since the unicorn features in the British Royal Coat of Arms. I'm still mad about this, by the way. I'm still mad about that. I cannot believe. Britain, what the fuck? For example, in profile, the front stand of Strongheart's hair looks like a unicorn's horn, as does the cane at his side. And then the cane in the... I also drew from elements of other creatures like the Black Panther to portray not only an intellectual... Oh, hello, Arsen, welcome! Not only his intellectual prowess, but also his ferocity. For his clothing, I tried to bring in features found in prosecutors' outfits. Ah, yes, Eggy Beggy. Eggy Beggy. His character was designed to have an appearance of the quintessential English gentleman. That was a hard word. Oh. Had a strong sense that I wanted to go in this direction with this character, so I put a lot of effort into his design. I was very relieved when it was approved. His clothing is detailed with elements related to bricks and brick buildings. And of course, he has numerous unusual flourishes and affectations to surprise players, so if any of you haven't seen them yet, look out for them in the game! Well, I like to give more details about other characters as well, but I think we'll have to call it a day. I really enjoyed this bit. Yay! And this is the ending. Oh Oh, you did! I did see that. I was preparing for this stream, so I didn't have time to watch it. I hope it went well. I hope it went well. Brothers of Ambitious stream. Since there were already commemorative group pictures at the end of each game, I sought to avoid the same themes and motifs in these pictures. I also didn't want to take away from the good vibes after finishing each title, so I gave it a lot of thought. In the end, I settled on using just Ryunosuke and Kazuma, as the two of them are the embodiment of the Great Ace Attorney. This illustration tells of the hope and ambition in their hearts just before they set sail for Great Britain. Standing shoulder to shoulder, they turn towards the same future at the start of their journey. Looking at this after experiencing the events of adventures is like going back in time, and it's sure to stir up all sorts of emotions. Oh yes, indeed. I drew similar pictures once for the Adventures art book, but as this piece was going to be used in a game, I made it more like a snapshot of something that might have happened in the story itself. It did, but Wi-Fi lagged, so I had to restart. You played Sun Forces and Godfall. Ooh, that sounds fun. That sounds fun. Okay, there we go. Oh. Right. This is the, yeah, for the Brothers of the Dawn. I turned to the iconic final scene at daybreak between Ryunosuke and Kazuma for inspiration in the symbolic illustration of their parting of ways. The image of the sun rising between their crossed swords is something I desperately wanted to include in the game, and it turned out to be a very emotionally powerful scene. It hints at their futures while showing the metaphorical dawning of a new age of the law. Rushing off down their respective paths with conviction in their hearts, Ryunosuke and Kazuma dash away in opposite directions from the rising sun, until the day their faces would cross once more. Whereas the two of them were facing the same direction in Brothers of Ambitious Dreams, Brothers of the Dawn presents a visual and thematic counterpart to complete the set. I really love these. I would love to print these out. Something I just like, if you... Oh my god, spoilers. Let's see, what do we... Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. It's just the idea of getting that 60 young male, it's actually kind of sad, because, yeah, so what's interesting about this design, as far as I remember? It proposes a younger traditional assistant character's survival, subtle, and that he and Van6 would enjoy a close and heated dynamic. If you had started sooner, I would have rated you. Aw, it's okay. It's fine. I appreciate it. Visually, he was a service backdrop to his mentor, coupled with the need to create the biggest impact possible. Prosecutor Asogi, this is the other side. From a narrative perspective, Kazuma represents the theme of confluence and contrast between East and West. As such, his prosecutor's outfit is based on Western clothing with Eastern flourishes. Another major task for me was how to change his appearance whilst keeping to the core elements of his design and overall form. For example, the swapping from Kazuma's university student uniform for a military-style dress uniform. Yeah. Yeah, and how they made like the headband into the tie instead. Yeah, and the Japanese flag and white snakes, which hold spiritual significance in Japanese folklore. His family crest, which is based on a real genome snake eye crests. And mask are both snake themed too. He's snake. He's a snake. He's also predominantly in white to stand in contrast with Ryunosuke's black uniform. I was completely sure this was the way to go when I envisioned how his dramatic return would play out when he was regretting his memories. Yeah. Yeah. He's so pretty. Why is he so pretty? Ah. Right, this was the one I wanted to. Oh my god. There it is. It's just a thing the family does. The whole leg thing. Oh my god. I'm really disappointed that you guys can't see the what's it called? The cover of the art book for DGS2, because it has the like Clint and it has Clint and Barog like next to each other doing the leg, and it's so nice. Clint Van6. He only appears in illustrations throughout the game, but he's a key figure in the story, so I approached this design as though he were a main character. He is so pretty. He's so pretty. Why is he so pretty? Why did you have to die? Come on. Similarities between the brothers while inserting new elements to contrast it. And the dog! Ugh, I'm so sad. There's Barrock's navy blue, Clint's red jacket is a reference to the traditional colors of the uniforms of the Queen's Guard and was just a thing to convey his positivity and brilliance. First introduced in Adventures, the cross swords in the Venseek's family crest are actually also a representation of the two brothers. Although as the emblem was used over many generations, I can't very say it's only all about them. Ah. Love it. The badge on Clint's chest was always meant to serve as a memento of him for his little brother, which we were finally able to show and resolve. Yeah. Narratively, I was able to make one very influential contribution in relation to Clint. One day, I very boldly proposed to the director, Mr. Takumi, how about making Clint's hunting dog the Baskerville Hound? Jesus Christ. Imagine that as a character designer and just being like, okay, what if I just set this? What if I just did this? At the time, Mr. Takumi himself hadn't quite hit upon how to solve the Baskerville problem yet, so he wasn't even sure if he was going to include it in the story. Therefore, I figured I had nothing to lose by suggesting it. Naka was in your stream! Oh, that's good to hear. I hope she's doing better. Aristocrats often went hunting with their dogs back then, so it seemed like a period-appropriate way to show Clint's social status and charismatic personality and connect him to the specific case. Yeah. I also suggested placing a certain vital piece of evidence in a very specific location. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. I love how vague they're being about this. Like, if we're looking at this... Oh, wait, is it? Yes, there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. The young boys. Look at them. Also this... this baby picture. So good. Sato. She's so pretty. I love it. I love it. It's good to hear. I love these two people next to each other. So thematically appropriate. Ah, yes. It ouchie when he dies. I do like the red, but I'm happy they stuck to the pink. I will say. Gina. Toby! Other best character. Oh my god. Right, Drebber. I really like Drebber. I am a bit disappointed, like, because this doesn't have everything from the art book. At least, not from what I can see. So, I swear to god, I love Maria so much! I love her design. Her little... Like, the pantsuit fit. No, it's like really, really tall pants, and then, like, a shirt. I love it, and the... I appreciate everything about her, and, like, Courtney Syfe. I want to read about... From the initial draft of the story, I gathered that Gory was to be an eccentric young lady who loved to dissect things, so I tried to make her design unlike anything else in the game. The key is the imbalance between her cute girly side and her dark side. While she shares a few common traits with her mother, she expresses her regular young girl side with her butterfly-themed custom white coat and fancy ribbons. Her mask is a steampunk version of a plague mask, which I use to convey a sense of the past and the unique look of this game's world. Yeah. I also love her, her hair is also kind of butterfly themed. It's like, ooh. Love it. Oh, here's... Now he's got the evil one. And I made my Twitch command to chat on the server. Yeah. Yeah. Taking his rightful place in the story. Hehehe. Draw him being evil. The heart of the maelstrom. So I have to mention here that his name in Japanese was Heart Vortex. So it was like way more literal. It was like the heart of the vortex, right? Yeah, you mentioned that Naka was in the server. I'm glad to hear that. As one of the stories, also the reason why his other motif is a unicorn, a highly intelligent creature that shares the royal coat of arms of the United Kingdom with a lion, whilst possessing a deadly strength of its own. I still hate that. Britain, whose idea was that? Yeah. Raging invert. Yeah, I did realize that like as he got angrier, his hair got like way more spiky. It's a rather flashy breakdown, wink wonk. But one well suited to the end of his story, I think. I hope you'll take a look at the sequence again with my remarks in mind. Very cool. Look at all of these little knickknacks that they didn't get to use. Okay, so now that we're at this point, well, I think they made, did they make dolls out of those or something? Or was it like piggy banks? I think they made something. Wait. Yurukera mascots. I initially doodled Yurunosuke as a bit of fun during a break from my work. So here, instead of my proper drawings from when we officially turned them into little piggy banks and giant stuffed toys. Yeah, I remember that. The retro chubby baby look is a throwback to popular styles of Japanese piggy banks from the late 20th century. So far there have been piggy banks of Yurunosuke, Yurumis, and Yuruseeks. But what are the ladies, you may ask? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'm so sad they didn't, like, expand on that. Yes. But yeah, I think, she fancies she's a real bear on the inside, yeah. Meowseek. Sven Seeks. Yeah, so he's a cat. Yeah, and Hedgina, she's a hedgehog. Yeah, I think Kazuma's also a cat. Also, I'm just gonna keep calling this design Chunosuke because there are just so people know, there are some very racist connotations to this name for like a mouse persona for a Japanese person. It's not good. So I would recommend just keep calling him Chunosuke because Chu, as you might have learned from us playing the game, is what a mouse says in Japanese. Chu, you know. And just like Nyan Seeks, I guess. So yeah. We have... She's a bunny. Susie is a bunny, and... Yeah, so here it says Nyan Seeks, and this one says... Nyamin... That's funny. Nyasogi. That's good. And this one, Kumarisu. And... Usaroku. Oh, okay, makes sense. Cute. Cute. Yeah, here are the key. This is the key visuals. I really like them, but I wish we could see the key visuals for the art books. I'm really disappointed that they don't have those here, but can't Shogunai, you know. Also, kind of like this new open cape look was never used, but yeah. Yeah, model based on this open cape look, but sadly it was not to be. I love Iris's going out look, the little buns for her hair. It's like hair protection. Gotta make sure the hair doesn't fall. And as you can see here, they also made some quite, some references to definitely the fact that her log was, his. So for anyone who doesn't know much about Sherlock Holmes, he is generally considered to be, well, he had some opium problems in the original stories, right? So whether or not a given story chooses to allude to that or not is kind of like, it depends. Wait. No, it ain't here. It's very nice though. I like it. Oh, they kind of almost, huh? Here it is. Tiny Chronicles key visual aim to distill the essences of both adventures and resolve and blend them into a single piece that shows both the world yet. It's also able to draw characters as I truly see them in this moment. Yeah, I love the I love the composite pictures. I love them so much. Look at that. Plus, they are homosexuals. Okay. I'm still sad. I'm still very sad. What are these? Right! Oh my god! Ah, these are so funny! Oh, wait. Which one is this? Yeah, okay. Let's just watch them. These are funny, okay? These are good. I wish we could play the DLC case. Oh my god,
何をなさっているのですか？なるほど様。
スサトさん、見ての通り、ちょっと張り切っているのです。
I'm yelling.
張り切って？
来年発売予定の大逆転裁判で奇跡の出会いが待っているのですが、その人物と今日この大法廷で一足早く会えるらしいのです。日本男児としてやり手なところを見せておきたいじゃないですか。
やる気でございますね。なるほど様。
でもなんだかちょっと怖いですね。夜の大法廷は。
先ほど見物したロンドン島恐怖展もそれは恐ろしゅうございましたから。
佐藤さん、ロンドン中の催し物を調べ上げていますよね。
明日見て回る恐怖展の予定もかっちり組み上げてありますとも。
別に恐怖限定でなくてもいいと思うけど。ところで。
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, I was being quiet. I was like, did I place?
この大法廷、幽霊が出るという噂がございます。
やめてください。ロンドン島恐怖展の直後でやや敏感になっていますから。何者だ
Oh.
なるほど。どうやら全て見えたようだ。我が名推理がささやく真実。君の正体はズバリ殺害されたイタリア人のコック長だ。
What?
自分が死んだことにも気がつかず大法廷をさまよっているとはね。死んだなら
He thinks we're the ghost.
その辺に転がっているがいい。死人め。
He thinks we're the ghost.
まさかあなたは世界的な名探偵
That's amazing.
シャーロック・ホームズ様。
I love these.
僕のことをご存知なのですか？
もちろんでございます。ご活躍いつも拝見しております。
Oh
シ
my
ャーロッ
god.
ク・ホームズの冒険、船便でお取り寄せして。
初
Well,
歩さ。ほんの初歩的な推理だよ、ワトソン君。
what the something?
本に書いてあった通りです。
ありえないことを消去すれば後に残るのは真実だけなのだよ。
それも本に書いてありました。
でもさっきのべらぼうな言いがかりは何なんだ。
You have a knife in your back!
言いがかりは紙一重
You have
の
a knife in your back, boy!
なんだよ。
それは本に書いてありませんでした。
どういうことですか？殺されたイタリア人のコック長って。
Well, the knife in your...
いい質問だ、コック長君。では始めるとしよう。シャーロック・ホームズの推理を。
Okay.
僕はね、つい先ほど電報で事件の通報を受けてここへ来たのだ。
Oh, great. Okay.
大法廷にてイタリア人コック殺害さる。
大法廷。
イタリア人。
そう、僕の完璧な読みに間違いなどありえないのさ。
Okay.
異国の技物、刃物といえばもうコック長に間違いない。キラリと光る五つ星は生前の腕前を物語っている。一見かなり東洋人っぽいが地球規模で見れば気にはならない。そして背中に突き刺さったナイフ、とっくに死んでいる証拠だ。
Fair.
故に君はどこから見てもイタリア人で死んでいてコック長だ。なんでもこの大法廷には幽霊が出るという噂らしいよ。
Uh-huh. Good time.
今の名推理、どこから見てもさっきの電報の後付けじゃないですか。
だって背中に深々と刺さっているそのナイフを見れば明らかだろ。
あ、これおもちゃです。
ロンドン東恐怖展の売店で大はしゃぎで買ってまいりました。
まさかとは思うが、
We trolled you.
今さら死んでないなんて言い出すつもりじゃないだろうね。
死んでません。
しかしイタリア人の死んだコック長でないとしたら、君は一体何者なのだ。
はい。僕は弁護士のなるほど龍之介です。大日本帝国から司法を学ぶため、この大英帝国に留学してきました。
私は御言葉すさとと申します。なるほど様をお助けする法務助手でございます。
というのは世を忍ぶ仮の姿、その正体はイタリア人のコック長という
Yes.
可能性はみじんもないのかな。
ありません。
ホームズ様、よろしければその電報見せていただけますか。
Watch him having read it upside down. What?
この電報、明らかに矛盾している。
え？
よく見てください。
大法
大法廷ではなく
大法廷。
大法廷です。
大法廷。
あ、そういえば裁判所の近くに大
He
法
can't
廷
read
という
Japanese.
イタリア料理店があるそうです。陸軍に伝わる恐怖の大砲で焼いたピッツァが名物なのだとか。
なんだって。
そう。あなたは電報の事件現場を完璧に読み間違えたのです。
You don't know Japanese, Mr.
大
Shum.
英帝国の電報なのに日本語のネタってどうなんだ。
それでは今回はこの辺で、今度はゲームでお会いしましょう。
次回もそれは見事な名推理を披露させてもらおうかな。
僕だって大法廷に立って怪事件を見事料理してやります。
ではコック長くん、うまいカルパッチョを所望するよ。
だから僕はイタリア人でもコック長でもありませんから。
Ah, yes. Wait, is this, I think this was, yeah, this one, yes, this one is really funny. I love this one so much. It's for the anniversary?
これより逆転裁判15
It's so weird to hear the judge speak.
特別法廷を
Yeah, 15 years,
開
yeah,
廷します。
15 years, I remember.
弁護側、検察側とも準備はよろしいですかな。
準備以前にどこですかここは。
大審院、大日本帝国の法廷です。いわゆる明治時代の。
いわゆる明治時代。
あ、それってもしかしてご先祖様とかいるのかも。
もっと驚こうよ迷いちゃん。
どうやら時空がねじれた
Might
よ
have
う
be
です。
like, time travel!
気にしない
Yeah!
それでは検察側はいかがですかな。準備の方は。
But I'm a lawyer.
なんというか僕弁護士なのですけど。
今日はいろいろな都合でそちらに立っていただきます。
何やら大人の都合のほのかな香りがいたしますね。
失礼ですけど検事さん、
I'm not a prosecutor.
あなたはどなたですか妙に親近感があるような。
確かに僕も同じことを考えていました。なんというかとても他人とは思えないというか。
それではせっかくなのでお互い自己紹介を願いましょうか。
What is this grade school?
弁護士のなるほど龍之介であります。
See, this one makes a lot more sense in Japanese. They have the same name.
お兄
Last name.
様では。何しろギザギザが多いですから。
生き別れの兄にはあいにく覚えがありません。
聞いたことがあるぞ。僕の先祖に龍之介という名前の弁護士がいるって。
じゃあ おじいさんは
Oh, jeez, he's 20.
ご先祖様
He's 23.
今さりげなくおじいさん呼ばわりでございましたね。
なん
Alright.
だか妙に老け込んだ気分です。
やっぱりそういうことだったんだ。
She's like,
お
Sato.
隣のあなたは私のご先祖様なんですね。え、おしとやかで凛としててまさに理想のご先祖様、子孫の綾里まよいです。私はホーム女子の御言葉すさとでございますが。
完全に赤の他人だったね。
なんだろう、この強烈ながっかり感。なんだか申し訳ございません。せっかくですからこの際綾里家の先祖になってください。綾里すさと、
I love that.
語呂は良いかと存じますが。
人類史上
Again, that one is way better in
非常に
Japanese.
話題を
Ayasato
されました
Susato.
すさとさん、
語呂はいいのにな、綾里すさと。
本日は逆転裁判15周年の1年間を振り返るものとします。
Yay!
15周年ですか？
Yay!
ええ、2001年初代逆転裁判が誕生。
Oh my
そ
god.
れを記念してこの1年いろいろやってきましたね。
そうそう、今年の1月にはでっかいイベントをやったり、
Mm.
15周年特別法廷、あれは楽しかったよね。
ああ、15年という時の重さをみんなと噛みしめたってね。
一言よろしいでしょうか。
何ですか？
時の重さをかみしめる記念であるのならば、まずなるほど様の生誕100年以上こそ祝うべきではございませんか。
100年以上。
やめましょう、すさとさん。時が重すぎて床が抜けます。
いやはやまさに人生の先輩。ありがたやありがたや。
拝まれてしまいましたね。
気軽に明治を振り回すのは控えた方が良さそうです。
それに去年は舞台をやったり、ついにテレビアニメにもなったりね。い
Man.
やー、私たちも毎週お楽しみだったよね。
待った。
What is an anime?
テレビ
Yeah,
アニメ
no. The fuck's that?
何のことか一から説明してもらおうじゃありませんか。
100年の壁は分厚いみたいだな。やっぱり。
あと今年はあれもありましたね。
Ari.
オーケストラコンサート。なんと9年ぶりだったそうです。
All of these things I was like so sad I couldn't go to any of this.
私泣いちゃったもん。
待った。
オーケストラ。
コンサート？
ああ、交響楽団の演奏会ですか。それなら先祖でもわかりますね。
ベートーベン様、モーツァルト様、バッハ様。あー、素敵でございます。
They mean
全く読め
Bach.
ないけど
Yeah.
納得してくれたみたいだ。
この頃の何でも漢字で書いちまえ
いや
って風潮、何だったんだろうね。
確かにね。シェイクスピアがサオーだっけ。
じゃあなるほどくんは差し詰めなるおだね。
大きなはやめようか。こっちも老け込んだ気分になるよ。
そしてつい先日8月3日のことでしたね。
ただーん。
大日本帝国国民待望の大逆
It also got
転
released in
裁判2 つい
2017.
に発売。
ありがとうございます。
いやー、僕たちもしっかり遊ばせてもらいましたよ。
Yes!
私だってすっかり感動しちゃったもん。
Yes!
そうだね。何しろ
Can't don't
すべての謎が今解き明かされましたからね。
please don't spoil. No spoilers, please.
どうかしましたか？
Yeah, all my fucking.
その一言がこの数年強烈な重圧だったもので。
ご先祖様の方にもいろいろあったのでございます。
何しろ全てはご先祖から始まったわけです。
Oh.
いやはや、ありがたやありがたや。
Wait, what?
お言葉ですが、裁判長のただいまの発言は完全に矛盾しています。
なんですと？どういうことですか？
実はさっきからずっと気になっていたんですけど、
I love this video.
ご先祖様、ある種やけに滑らかに動いてますよね。
あれ、そうかな。
ほら、それです。
Why do you have better animations for me if you're my ancestor?
机を叩くのにパカパカと絵が2コマしか
Paka
ないよ。
paka.
ちなみに
Paka paka.
意義ありはどんな感じですか？意義あり。
さすがにそれは嘘でしょう。
とにかくこのパカパカっぷり、僕としてはこっちこそが先祖であり元祖の気分です。
I love it.
反論できない。
I love it. I love the contradiction
お
of
互
that.
いが先祖であり、そして元祖であると、それは時空がねじれるのも無理はございませんね。
それではそろそろ閉廷の時間です。
I love these videos.
あ それで僕たちどうやって帰ればいいのですか？
It's fine. Don't think about it.
21世紀に。
明治の街をブラブラして時間を潰すというのはいかがでしょう。
大帝都東京は華やかですから100年なんてあっという間ですよ。
どうやら何としてもあの一言を僕に言わせる流れみたいですね。
おお、
Mm-hmm.
先祖と元祖、夢の共演だね。
Mm-hmm.
それでは逆転裁判のさらなる発展を祈って皆様もご一緒に。せーの。
Oh.
時代は回る。そういうことですね。
Ah, save me.
またどこかでお会いいたしましょう。
This was like I haven't watched this video in a while. I'm glad I got to see it again. It never stops being funny. Good one, Capcom. Okay. I actually do not remember if I ever ended up watching these. Well, let's see what this is. It's always
なる
fun.
ほど龍之介の罪深き7日間第1夜。
Let's see what this be about. Subtle. Wait a second. Have I called the order of the trial of the defendant Yunosuke Naruhodo? Are the counsels for the prosecution and the defense ready to proceed? Because of the defense is ready, my lord. Prosecution ire, how long Sholmes? Naturally stand in full readiness. And I naturally am not ready for this at all! Don't even know what it is that I'm supposed to have done! No, that's right. When I heard that Mr. Naruhodo was in trouble, I hurried here at once. But I have no information about the charge brought against him at all. I haven't done anything. The Great Ace attorney is due to go on sale next week. I'm just trying to keep a low profile and prepare mentally for busy times ahead, that's all. Mr. Naruhodo, your braceness knows no bound. Call yourself a defense lawyer, having committed no less than 7 crimes of the most serious nature. Wait, 7 crimes? What are you talking about, Mr. Sholmes? So every one of these unforgivable penalties have been fully examined in this courtroom. I shall not step down from this bench as what I'm talking about, my dear fellows! You do realize that's the prosecution counsel's bench, don't you? I don't believe you should be stepped up to it in the first place. Thank you, counsels. Not let us hear the charge board, but the prosecution. I said there are 7 charges against the accused, as we've been heard to 7 consecutive trials this week. This evening, we examined the first of those charges, the most disturbing crime. What crime? Of what does Mr. Naruhodo stand accused? Of leaking information, Mrs. Sato, as you well know. I think that's more correct saying, like, spoilers. Is it netabare, like, spoiling things? Huh? Leaking information? I still remember it clearly. The worst out of the accused was mad last night at the restaurant. Topic of conversation turns to the Great Ace Attorney to be released next week. If you recall, I presume, what blurted from your lips with no regard for the public setting. Well, I think it was something like... I can't believe the Great Ace Attorney goes on sale next week! I can't wait to see what the curious deductions Mr. Shilps comes out with this time! Precisely! There you have it, my gripe in a nutshell! This great detective's appearance in the title was supposed to be a great secret, a surreptitious surprise. I don't want it to be common knowledge, shared with all and sundry. To speak of it so openly and indiscreetly, upon my word, there can be no more repugnant crime. Spoilers. Really? Mr. Sholmes, curious deductions, both undeniable spoilers! Yes. Spoilers. I think it's reasonable to say that Mr. Naruhodo's words were simply information, no spoilers. And I do believe that your appearance, Mr. Sholmes, is already highly anticipated. In fact, that alone may account for many people's interest in the title. If all the words that I used to describe your appearance surreptitious isn't one of them. I wonder if perhaps your real gripe is with the description of your deductions is curious. Fail to see the seriousness of the crime, my learned friend, Mrs. Sato. I believe it to be a trifle, but there's nothing as so important as trifles. The accused Naruhodo has committed the willful and careless acts of correcting spoilers, which the prosecution seeks the harshest of sentences. In summary, then, the court must decide the following. In the context of a tale of mystery in which every leaked detail could be of significance, is it or is it not a crime to utter in public what has already been made public? Well, people have the right to knowledge, naturally, but they also have a right to ignorance. Prosecution is called a strict penal action, which will be convened for 5 tomorrow. The defendant, your skin, I suppose, is now in the hands of you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Do you find him guilty or innocent? What say you, juror? Until tomorrow evening, then. Please deliberate carefully. Help me! That's very... Okay, these are very hard to read. I don't know if I want to do that just now. I'll see what else we have, because these will be very hard to read, and I am bad at reading. Let's see what else we can look at. Okay, what are these escapades about? Okay, there are only these 8. Let's do these. The Rants magazine, episode 1. The defendant. Yes. Let's see what these are. So I can't raid you, I can host you. Oh, that's fine. No worry about it. I'm very thankful. Just look at my priceless treasure now! Myself, I have scrubbed and scrubbed. But the repellent odor of meat will never be repelled from its resplendent surface again. But you have it back in your possession at least. You should be grateful, old man. How dare you! Excuse me, but I'd just like to get at that Sabaton cushion there if I could. Rest assured, you miserable military malefactor, this is not over! Incarceration awaits those who would defraud a senior citizen of his priceless treasures. Watch your tongue, old man! Mark my words, I want... Sorry, Sergeant, but... Gotta just get at that Sabaton cushion over there as well. Oh. I won't go to jail, never! Imagine if I did. The very next day, my boy would starve without the chain of command in place to provide for him. Using the child to protect yourself, myself I call that absolute cowardice. Oh, really? And who just employed the old poor defenseless senior citizen tactic, The only way to fight an enemy who's using underhand tactic is with a tit-for-tat strategy. Sorry to interrupt again, but I just need to get that Western-style cushion there and on the sofa. Enough of this insubordination. What do you want, man? Oh, please, don't mind me. I'm just cleaning. Aha! Do my eyes deceive me? Or is this the wide-eyed criminal from the trial before? Wide-eyed, perhaps, but criminal? No. It was actually innocent, please. What is this unhealthy fascination you exhibit with the sating arrangements of others, Why were you peering under the cushion of this upholstered seat? Oh, well, the thing is... Any luck? Did you find it? Yeah, sorry. No, sadly not. I don't think it's here, Kazuma. You really are a liability, Ryunosuke. Report! At once! Did you lost something, is that it? Yes, we were just on our way to a party to celebrate my friend's victory here when I realized that my university pin badge was missing. A university pin badge, you say? Yes, from my collar here, you see? Affirmative. Uniforms must be kept in prime condition at all times. Missing badge is unacceptable. I thought if I looked around, it would probably turn up somewhere. Like the old tale of the Koban coin and the stake. A parable of which I am acutely aware. Ah, yes. But I've exhausted my search now, really. The only logical conclusion is that someone must have stolen it. Don't look at me! I don't just find any old metal objects irresistible, you know? Imagine what would happen if little trooper Ido here swallowed something like that. I'm afraid we'll have to give up, Ryunosuke. Still, if you tell the office your student number, they should be able to issue you with a new one. He doesn't remember it, does he? What's the matter? Don't tell me. Yes, I don't remember my student number. I don't believe it! I mean, this is the second time you've lost your badge, isn't it? Third, actually. If you didn't think you could remember it, you should have made a note of it somewhere. I told you that until it was blue in the face last time this happened! God! You're the most useless... yes, I do seem to remember someone telling me something along those lines. It was you, was it? Can't even remember who told you what you needed to remember it. Hey! Hey! Don't be mean. The student digits are numbers of 6 digits, Kazuma. Who can remember 6 whole digits? I remember my own phone number and that's 8 digits. Shut up! Yuma isn't exactly a long-established university, you know. All of our numbers are still rather low. In fact, they only use the last 3 digits. Well, that might help, I suppose. That might help? Ryunosuke, it's only 3 digits you needed to remember. Just 3! God. Sorry my brain is such a disappointment. I want to clip the... Yeah, wait, I'm gonna clip this and I'm gonna frame it. Because this is me. That's me, right there. Yes, well, anyway, young man. Myself, I was greatly impressed with you in the courtroom today. Oh, you mean me? A lawyer already before you've even graduated. I'm such a loyal friend to this one. This one? What's that supposed to mean? Oh no, I still have much to learn. In fact, that was brought home to me in no uncertain terms only last year. My Achilles heel was spectacularly exposed by my best friend here. Yeah, we get to the yes. Yes, you can't say tongue twisters. That's it. Indeed? What? By me? This is the first I've heard about it. Yes, by Ryunosuke Naruhodo. You can't have forgotten, surely. It was last summer. The speech contest. The speech contest? Oh, that! Yes, I remember. Contestants had to take to the stage and deliver a public address on any subject they chose. We were competing to give the most compelling and powerful speech. And yours was great, made a huge impression on the audience. Obviously, since I was a budding student of law, I was determined to win. And sure enough, one by one, my opposition fell. When I reached the final at last, I came up against you. Yes, so you did. Not being rude, but when I first laid eyes on you, I thought to myself. Ah, RJ! Thank you so much for the raid! Hello! Hello, it's so nice to have you. This cheeky, wide-eyed no-hoper's out of his steps. He's gonna be a pushover. Also, hello, welcome raiders. Welcome RJ. So nice. Let me just give you a shout out. Whoop whoop. Also, I forgot this one. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you so much to Kirby Fun Frio2 for following. Welcome to the Dreamland. It's so nice to have you. Great, stay foolish. Yeah. Yeah. I'm decided to do the escapades because like those videos are way too fast for me to read. If you really want me to go through them, let me know. But yeah, I'm gonna focus on these. That's your version of not being rude, is it? I already remember this. Hi, babe. Hello, RJ. Well, I paid for my complacency because it brought on that humiliating defeat. Defeat? How are your ranks compromised? My speech was going very well. I had the audience in the palm of my hand. They hung on my every word. Not sure which one were the best with escapades, but you might want to skip a few to get later ones. Okay. And then, when I came to the very last line... Yes? What happened at the very last line? Hello, Bam Bam! Welcome to the stream! It was supposed to be a climactic end. Unfortunately, I completely fouled it up. Because he can't say, right, go pee, RJ! Never! No! You mean, you stumbled on your words? He did! I remember he was trying to, oh god. No, I'm, okay, in Japanese, thank you so much to the Bam Bam for following. Thank you, thank you. Do you want me to just call you Bam, or just let me know what you want to be called? I think, on the wiki, it said that the word he was trying to say in Japanese, like, it's a word that means, like, men and women of all ages or something like that. Let me actually just look it up, what exactly, but it means something like that. And I actually... Wait, men and women of all ages. That was exactly, and it is pronounced. Let me just give it a shot. Ryonyaku nanyo. And it's a very hard word. Okay, Bam. Okay, I'll call you Bam then. But I wonder what they're gonna do. Spectacularly. Even now, I can't believe I ruined it. He can't say tongue twisters. That's his fatal flaw. Well, what on earth did you say, man? Yunosuke, you better say it. I still can't get my tongue around it. He still can't do it. This is his character flaw. His character flaw is that he can't say shit. Sure, of course. I can still recall it perfectly. What you said at the end of your speech, or rather, what you intended to say at the end of your speech, was this. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight and the flight for filial piety. That's bad. That's so bad. And what went wrong? What indeed? Myself, I see no problem with the pronunciation of these paltry words. In that case, old man, I invite you to say it yourself. Very well then, I shall. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight and the fight for filial piety. Is it possible? Yes. The arise, ladies and gentlemen part I delivered perfectly. But the next part had me floundering for a whole 5 minutes. By the end of it, I was on my knees in front of the podium, a blabbering mess. And that's when the audience started to heckle you. Arise! Arise! They were shouting. Hell on earth. Yes. But then of course, this man went and delivered his word-perfect speech with a perfect ending. How did it go again? Let me see. So, my dear fellows, the message is simple. Treat your father and mother with respect. Something like that. I mean, talk about stating the obvious. But the fact is, I lost to that speech. Be nice to your mommy and daddy. Tongue-tied is the only way to describe it. Yes! I love it! I love this in-character fact about Asoga. The fact that he can't say tongue twisters. And wait, I don't know if they're gonna mention the story, but well, it is quite tricky to say, I agree. That final fight for filial piety, especially. And ever since that day, I've had this question whirling around in my head. Why did our forefathers choose such an awkward phrase? Was it to mock their children? I mean, it should never have been called filial piety in the first place. First place! Ah! I tried to raid you, but it says there's an issue. I have no idea. Yes, I do get the raids. I don't know why it tells you have an issue. I do get the raid. I can replay the message. See here. See. See. It's right there. You are definitely raiding me. And it is working, so. The first place. Did you see that? Oh my god, I saw that. Did you see it? Look. Flirst, please. Wait, so flirst pace? No! At least you're going to Great Britain soon. It might not come up much there. Well, anyway. Having lost that accursed contest, I came after you to ask you a question. How is it that you never trip up on your words? I inquired. And you just gave me a broad smile and said, speaking fast is my hobby. I mean, really? What kind of hobby is that? He's ready to kill you. Do you think you could take your hand off of your sword, please? Besides, it's just a way to pass the time. After that, you started talking at me 10 to the dozen, like you were possessed almost. Honestly, I can't imagine. You can't imagine the shock I suffered that day. You really can't. That's like I say, namamugi, namagomi, namatamago. I know that one. You thought you could get me. No. No. Fuck. There was another one, but I'm forgetting it. No! What was it? It's fine. You're right. I really can't. Making fast is just the sort of hobby I'd expect a civilian like you to waste his time on. How about Tokyo, Kyoku, what's that? What's that? What? Tokyo, Kyoku. Is it some Japanese agency or something? In Tokyo? Let me know. Let me know. I love doing it in Japanese. Like, don't challenge me. I'm not amazing at it, but like, this is something that I actually care about. Like, I don't have the exact same hobby as you, but I try to learn fast Japanese songs as a hobby. I think it was the Tokyo Patent Permit Office, I think. That makes a lot of sense. Because kyoku means like, it can mean like an office or like an agency of some kind. Kyoka means permit, so that makes sense. I just wasn't sure what Tokyo meant. But, okay. Patent. Pajama ki pajama cha pajama. What's that? Wait, where are you getting these for? No, aka pajama ki pajama cha pajama. That's a variation of the ones that you taught Asogi. Well, you have to practice, of course, but there's some simple things to start with. Like this famous one, for example. Swift samurai sword swipe silently sideways. I'm not that good at English, though, to be fair. Oh, yes. Even a decrepit tongue in an ailing frame such as mine can find its way around that one. Yeah, it's like ao makigami, aka makigami, ki makigami. Yes, but you taught him it as it taught him as if I remember. I can't remember if it was the Hachimaki one first or after. Imagine translating tongue twisters. I know! That one was more alliteration. I've no doubt. It's just a bit of fun, really. I can't imagine anybody would struggle to say it. Isn't that right, Kazuma? Are you bullying me? Swim. It's so cute! I can't get over it. A blabbering missed my word too. One of the better ones I know is banana no naso wa mata naso na no daso. Yeah, that one's fun. That one's fun. It reminds me. I'm sure. There's so many good ones. That's a good one. I like that one. Thank you. It's not just a samurai. Every good soldier needs to be able to handle a sword. That's why I've been busy teaching Idol the finer parts of swordplay. None of this wordplay nonsense. Private. The mystery of banana is still a mystery. I know! Don't worry about it. Come to think of it. Not long after that, we started to attend lectures together, didn't we? We got into that debate about family values at the Sukiyaki place on campus, do you remember? Yes, the argument was full of jokes and puns and wordplay as usual. I remembered well. That does sound like a language student. I would also do this. Oh, was it? In any case, I swore that I would never let myself forget the shock you gave me back then. And as a symbol of how seriously I took that oath, I decided to wear this. My red Hachimaki headband. Here it comes. He's wearing it. For that reason, the dumbest reason on all of the planets. I cannot. I love this lore. It's my favorite. No matter how many times I go over this. It's so good. Sorry, Kazuma? Yes? You've lost me there, I'm afraid. I don't see the link. No, I'm not gonna say that one because I don't remember it. I can learn it for you. But you have to give me a few weeks because that one's a bit like, it's like 3 sentences at least, you know? Like Namamugi Namagoma Namatamago you can learn in like 5 minutes, right? But like that one would take a little more. But I would learn it for you. If you want me to learn it for you, donate/J. Yeah, it's quite long. Because it's like, I don't know, it's like got a good like, rhythm to it. No! That doesn't count. What does your red headband have to do with your oath? Because it'll always remind me of that smug look on your face that you uttered those tantalizing words. What words? You mean another tongue twister? I practiced and practiced until my tongue bled, but in the end, I mastered it! Mastered what? Well, I think it's time you heard this, actually. Listen carefully now. Here goes. Red headband, lead headband, dead headband. There! We're perfect, see? Right, here's when he... Yes, I remember. Miki me, Miki, Mimi, Miki, Mimi, Miki, me. That one's fun! Mimi, Mimi. Dead. Dead! I'd actually been meaning to ask you about that. About the story behind your headband, I mean. Well, now you know. So that I'll never forget the shock and humiliation of that day. Mini Mimo favorite run. That's why I wear this red headband every single day without fail. Well, I don't know exactly how much of a shock you think you had back then, but it can't be more than the shock you've just given me now. What do you mean? Well, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but the tongue twister I said didn't go the way you seem to have remembered it. Huh? It's just as famous as Swift Samurai Sword, so I can't believe you don't know it, really. It goes, red bread pan, lead bread pan, dead bread man. Oh, that one! Ooh, the last one. That's a cheat. That last one. Yes, man at the end. So yeah, okay. So this is the story, right? He corrects it. Wait, what? Bread. Ah! Seems I've knocked some wind out of that headband of yours. Is that too late, Private? You can always start wearing a red bread pan. Oh god, now I'm doing it wrong. This is a soggy. Goddammit. Red bread pan on your head instead. Your youthful vigor is manifest, young man. Your cheeks are glowing redder than your hachimaki. Ah! Why do so many words have to be so similar? I love him. So looking forward to Great Britain then. We'll have to deliver speeches in court in English. I suppose I can always shell seashells on the sheet. Sure. Oh, it's good. Yes. Yeah, this one. Oh my god, that was the best. Okay, let's see what these are. Soki gave up, I know, right? Okay, I just think I will take a quick break and he's the seashell. I'll just take a quick break and then I will be right back again for more of this. am back. Thank you for waiting. Okay, the first class cabin one is good, you say? Second escapade. It transpires that another crime was committed aboard the SS Buria. The stakes are highest, shows and Stroganoff pursue the culprit, but there's more to the crime than meets the eye. That does sound fun. That sounds very, very fun. 6th of January, 6:23 p.m. SS Buria. First class cabin, number 1. Asogi shows first interaction. Oh god. It's almost 2 weeks now since we left Japan. I can't believe how quickly time has gone. So our next port of call will be Shanghai. Noku, noku, noku. Okay. Who's there? Who could it be at this hour? A detective. A detective? Who? A great detective? I don't get it. What's a great detective? If you would just be so kind as to open the door. Oh, yes, sorry, of course. Is something wrong, detective? Are you investigating a case? Wherever a great detective goes, great cases occur. Indeed, I am the root of all evil. Sorry? And I don't think I want you in my cabin. Get out! Under our very noses on the steamship, a terrible theft has just occurred. What? You notice, I presume, the brief power failure a short while ago? Oh yes, the power couldn't have been out for more than 10 minutes, though. Indeed. Yet that was ample time for this wicked crime to be perpetrated. I see. Well, clearly it's a case that needs investigating. Precisely. The culprit ran away in this direction, down the first-class cabin passageway here. Really? The thief came this way? I'm quite sure of it. He may have escaped the attention of the dim-witted crew, but not of the great detective. To that end, I would be obliged if you will allow me to investigate here in this cabin. Well... How curious. Is there some reason why it would be inconvenience you to have your cabin searched? Inconvenience me? Well, I'd be lying if I said no. After all, there's a stowaway in that wardrobe right over there. It's just me in here, you see, no one else. So you might perhaps want to focus your attention on one of the other first-class cabins. As it happens, you're the only first-class passenger at present. The other cabins are vacant. Oh! Oh god. Let that rather tragic rumbling of the stomach arise from within you, my good fellow. Of course. As I said, I'm the only person in here. Not too long until dinner time now, so perhaps we could do this afterwards? I do apologize, sir, but it is of the first importance that the investigation is not delayed. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait! Where did he go? How did he suddenly move all the way over there? He said, he teleports. Yes, without a doubt. If the culprit were to be hiding in this cabin, it would have to be inside this wardrobe. I shall need to examine this wardrobe thoroughly. I presume you have no objection. Wait, is this no! No. Hello, Kunoi, welcome. No, this is the... no, this is the escapades. It's not got much. Yeah, this is bonus stuff. But this is from the first game. This is from the first game. So, if you've played the first game, you can watch these. At least some of them. Yeah, this is, yeah, we're just doing the escapade. Yes, this is the time frame before episode 2. So this is 2 weeks into the, Japan trip. Herlock came to visit Asogi. No. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to decline. Really? You won't find any- Achoo! Achoo! God damn it! No! Did those 2 rather tragic sneezes arise from your good self? Of course they did! As I said, I'm the only person in here. You have a curious knack of talking while sneezing then. Twice, no less. Do you allergic to himbos? This is gonna be a tough one to argue. I was watching you quite intently, sir, and I assure you I saw no signs of a sneeze. Ah! Couldn't you just guys held his nose? Come on. As I was saying, I shall need to examine this wardrobe. We've had it now then. Game's up. Nobody hiding in there, it seems. What? You seem surprised. No, not at all. Yes, I love Asogi's inner thoughts. He's hilarious. He was in there for sure. I shut the doors on him myself. More visitors? Who's this now? Lamau, I know, right? Dude. Excusing me. Oh, Seaman Stroganoff. This is the same energy as playing as Edgeworth. Yes, it does! Oh my god. Sorry for disturbing, but crime has been committed on board ship. Yes, I heard. A terrible theft, apparently. How did you notice? Well, the detective here just informed me, you see. Detective? Yes, I assumed you must have asked him to investigate. Detective, could you... Where did he go? I must ask you to cooperate with investigation into this crime, fully. Oh, he's glaring at the wardrobe already? Ah! Ah ha ha ha! Well done, you found me! What are you doing hiding in my wardrobe? My good man, I was merely assessing the practicality of concealment in such a place. And I would say that, at a push, a human could survive for up to 5 minutes in that cramped space. Yunus has been in there for a fortnight. Is he not human? Shows you idiot, I know, right? Who are you? Shh! This is the moment of truth! The great detective is about to unveil the sordid details of this wretched crime. You mean to say? Yes, there can be no doubt that the culprit of this terrible theft did indeed conceal himself within this wardrobe. What? But that's impossible. Couldn't have done. Because my best friend was in there the entire time. Or at least, I thought he was. How can you be so sure of this? Elementary, my dear fellow. Criminal left behind the most revealing evidence. How else could you explain? These 3 bones! Huh. What the... He's right. Look at those gnawed bones in there. And 3 of them. Ah, the criminal has escaped this time, but I will fight him and crush him. Could I ask you something, detective? Why, yes, of course. I'm always delighted to answer an inquiring mind. In this terrible theft, what exactly was stolen? Aha! What else? But some steaks on the rib bone. Oh great, it's an animal in it. Did you say steaks on the rib bone? My headcanon is Sholmes is totally smart. Yeah, he's just fucking around with people for the fun of it. But he fucks it, yeah, exactly. He does it for fun. Maybe to test him, even. You know? To make him use his brain. For this evening's dinner, 3 rib steaks were stolen from Ship's kitchen only a short time ago. It was malfunctioning with generator, and Ship was without lights for 10 minutes. Chef who saw criminals said that he ran away down first class passageway. And now, I am on his tail. Yeah, Sholmes has that look of a man knowing more than he let on, but he's also an idiot. Exactly! He's a himbo with, moments of light. Anyway. I'm afraid to say, dear fellow, that your man is no longer in this cabin. But how? Through the cabin door, no less. Having devoured his hole in this wardrobe, the culprit discarded the bones and concealed himself behind the cabin door as you came inside. Then, when attention was turned to the wardrobe, he seized his chance to escape through the open door. What? Make haste, my good man. After the culprit. I shall follow presently. Oh, he even has a matta. That's fun. Something troubles you, sir? I think maybe criminal is not running away at all. What are you suggesting? Now I know where the dog is buried, Mr. Asogi. Me? Duh! When I think that you are a culprit, everything is falling in places. Oh no! You better pick it up! The criminal that disappeared in first-class passageway. The bones in the wardrobe. Look who's pointing their fingers at you! Don't be ridiculous. I would never. Yes, yes, of course. I established at once that you couldn't be the perpetrator of the crime. You did? Why? How are you so sure? My dear fellow, there are but two things in this world which one can rely on with total certainty. What two things? Evidence! The first is the word of a great detective, and the second, evidence! The second is the tragic rumbling of an empty belly. Ah! Not again! When I first entered this cabin, I want to see Asogi do the deduction. That is for sure, so be so good! There did arise from the gentleman a belly rumbling so odiously tragic that it confirmed beyond all doubt that the man had not eaten a single rib steak in some time, let alone 3. Asogi is so good. Why do I have to suffer this humiliation when I've done nothing wrong? I'm just hungry. Curses! I will catch this thief. He cannot have gone far. Indeed, assuming he decided against the post-meal constitutional swim. Is it Sholmes? Well, if you will excuse me now, my apologies for upsetting your evening. Sholmes fucking stole the steak, Lamau. I know, right? Detective, one moment, please. Yes? That was the most remarkable deduction. Perhaps you'd be kind enough to tell me your name. Ah, it quite slipped my mind. You have been talking with the one and only Sherlock Sholmes! I see. Well, I'm Kazuma Asogi. I'm a student on my way to Great Britain. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Mr. Asogi. Oh, and before I forget. Yes? I feel I should warn you. Live cargo is strictly forbidden on this vessel. So you do well to concede the stowaway currently lying low under your bed as carefully as possible. Oh, under the bed? I bid you farewell then, Mr. Asogi. How? Wait, what? When? He knows! Of course he does. He's uncovered a secret. I suppose I should have expected nothing less of a great detective. Why are you playing this song now? I love this song a lot. You. Now then. Where did you move under the bed? I thought we'd had it when he opened the wardrobe door. Oh, well, it was thanks to the split-second chance you engineered. That I what? You distracted him for a moment, remember? When you suggested that he investigated the other cabins instead. Oh, yes, he turned to look towards the corridor, didn't he? Well, I couldn't see what he was doing, of course, but I thought to myself, it's now or never! And the next thing I knew, I was under the bed. You really know how to give me a scare, don't you? Anyway, what's all this about the rib steaks, eh? Sorry about that. I've just been so hungry! He stole them! Yeah. He is just fucking around. I'm hungry. Ever since we left Japan, stuck in that tiny wardrobe. Well, you should know! You've been splitting all your meals with me. You must be starving too, surely. Right on cue. And there was that power cut before, wasn't there? For about 10 minutes. So what's then? I caught a whiff of the most delicious smell. And I thought to myself, it's now or never! The next thing I knew, I had the steak in my hands. Steak! Steak! Sholmes is so smart that everything is so boringly obvious and he used to come up with stuff to make it fun. That is one way to look at it. This man just can't help getting himself into trouble. Well, alright. You were hungry, but free steaks? Thanks to you, free crewman is going to go without tonight, I imagine. No, it was just the one. What? I only took one rib steak from the kitchen, that's all. But I don't understand. Hey, I'm not that selfish. If I'd stolen free steaks, I'd at least have tossed one your way. I'm not your pet dog. Well, in that case, who stole the other two? Sholmes! I'm telling you! Yes! Ah, do you think... I mean, he went into the wardrobe and disposed of the other bones. Could there be a ghost on board? A meat-loving ghost? There can only have been a single bone in the wardrobe when Yunosuke moved to hide on the bed. Yep, it's Sholmes. Which means that the other two bones can only have been put there by one very flesh and blood person. Haha. What's so funny? We're on a haunted ghost ship! A great detective or a great mischief maker? Both! He's both! Either way, I think I'd like to spend a little more time getting to know that man. RIP! RIP! You definitely would, but you're dying in a few days. Anyway. The great hairlock. Yes! Yes! He gets the name wrong! Yes, because he sucks with. Oh, I'm sorry. Stop smiling like that, you little idiot. I hate them. I hate you guys. I hate you. I hate both of you and you're you homosexuals. Hairlock show. Yeah. Okay, which other ones are fun? They find a flustered Inspector Gregson. Okay. Thank you, Arsena. Sure. Episode 3 is met. Okay, let's not do that then. I will just, let me just get to for Arsen. Arara. There we go. So Argo, just let me know what you want to do with that sing redeem. Episode 4. Okay, let's do that one. Wait, I forgot to read the synopsis. Fourth escapade on pole one morning on Baker Street, and Iris has prepared breakfast for everyone as usual, but Yunosuke wakes to find an envelope under his door containing a death threat. Who on earth could have put it there? And why? I wanted to sing Jugame Jugame, but I can't do that within today's stream. You know I can't do that within today's stream. Unless you just want my best attempt at current time. Because I can try. I mean, if that's what you want. I know I forgot to read that. It's fine. Good morning, Iris. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. Okay, so you just want me to give my best attempt at that. Is that what you want? Like now, as I am now, because I can try. For context, we were talking about tongue twisters before, and he wants me to do a Nakugo thing. Okay, I'll try. I have heard it a few times, but not that, but not that many times. Like, you know, it's enough that I like kind of remember some of it, but kind of not. Okay. I mean, I can Nakugo now. No, I can't. Okay. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. Okay. Okay, I think, okay, yeah, no, I was just reading it, because I need to make sure I know what the words say, too! Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it! Why am I subjecting myself to this? Okay. 中間部五行の水木の会社で水行の水行松雲内松風来松クーネルところに住むところやぶら工事のブラ工事パイプパップのシューリンガンのシューリンガンのグーリンダイのポンポコピーのポンポコナーの超救命の超助 There we go! That's my best attempt! I need a bit more training with the beginning there. I lost my breath halfway through. That one's way more. I hope you like that one, Argo. That like the point. It's not even. That's smooth for a first try. Thank you. I I lost my breath halfway through. That one needs a bit of, like, you need to, like, before you start saying that one, I think. I kind of underestimated how long it was. It was fun. It was fun. Maybe I should put that as, like, a really high point redeem, just to get, to get me to say it. Yeah, it's actually, yeah, the last part is the most fun to say. That last part is really fun to say. The Pompokopino Pompokonano Chokyu no Chosuke, that one is really fun to say. Yeah. Good way to get me rid of points. I'll think about how much it'll be, and then, and I'll have a sticky note with it written down. So, and it'll just be like, Mina does the Jugamu.
Oh, morning, sissy. I'll get breakfast on the table for us all.
Mr. Sholmes. Morning. Come now, why the long face? Greed, I can't believe you. Thank you. Greed, stay foolish. We could also have that as like a command. Oh, sorry, the thing is, I just had a rather strange envelope posted under my door this morning. With some rather strange things inside.
What strange things? Ooh, what was it, Bruno? Did I catch the scent of a mystery in the air?
Nothing so exciting, I'm afraid, Iris. It was just 5 orange pips. I can't imagine what it could possibly—
What?
We can have it as a command when you don't know what to name a character name. Command exclamation Bob. Yeah, I mean, it would have quite a long cooldown because it takes up a lot of space and I don't want it to get like completely spammed, you know? I'll think about it. Orange pips, Mr. Naruhodo? And 5 of them? What's the matter with you? That's a bit of an overreaction, isn't it? An overreaction? Mr. Naruhodo, you don't understand. It's a warning, a notice of imminent danger to your life. What? To my life? What's the meaning of all this, Mr. Sholmes? My dear fellow, why do you make such an inquiry of me? Because the name of the sender was written on the envelope, and it was yours.
Oh! You're right, Bruno. It says sent by Sholmes, envoy of hell!
You can easily do 6-hour cooldowns, so everyone can only use it once per stream. Yeah, I was thinking that. But the normal commands on Nightbot say like up to, wait, what does it say? 300. So, I don't know if there's like a custom for that? Envoy of hell, thou shalt fate be smitten. Bleh. 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 Oh. I think I did not read that. So my little ploy has been exposed. Well, so be it. What do you mean Cast your mind back, if you will, Mr. Naruhodo, to the time of our dining last night. Oh yes, Miss Sato cooked Japanese food for us. Indeed. In particular, you may recall the final norimaki sushi roll that I was about to savor. That is, before you swooped in with your clacking chopsticks and filched it from under my nose. I assume because you'd left it that you didn't want it. I'd left it, my dear fellow, because I had planned to enjoy it as my very last mouthful. Surely you must have noted my intent by the subtle dilation of my right pupil. Perhaps a clearer sign would be helpful next time. Just an idea. In summary, the post you received earlier is a notice of impending revenge. You should be quaking in your respective boots. Really? Because I went straight out into the garden and planted them. I'm hopeful we may grow some exotic fruit.
There's no point sending a notice of impending revenge if the person you send it to doesn't know what it is.
This is exactly why in an open buffet you go for best first. Yep.
Well, I knew of course, because I read this book. A book! The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. On sale now in all major London bookshops and receiving rave reviews!
Leave best for last is the only tactic that works in regular dining settings. Yep. In Bo. Yeah. In Bo. Oh yes, of course. It's finally been published, hasn't it? I hear it's selling very well.
It is. 12 short stories in one volume. I've earned a lifetime spending money already.
Bo! Bo! That's how you say it. Bo! And it has further bolstered my name. In fact, only the other day, a Bohemian king sought to engage my service. Really? That's extraordinary. Yeah, because he cheated. Of course, the gentleman persisted with some pretense about being a fishmonger for the duration. But only a fool would presume to be able to deceive my eyes with such a charade. So how did you know that he was a king, then? Why, there's no mystery, my dear fellow. A distinct fellow fish accompanied the man's lowly apparel. And though he tried to hide it, the left side of his moustache quivered in a quite manifest manner.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes. That's simply brilliant.
What? Having neatly resolved the case for the man, I will send a quantity of fresh cod as a mark of his appreciation. I think perhaps you shouldn't discount the possibility that he actually was a fishmonger.
Is that... Can anyone else smell burning?
Oh yes, you're right. And look, smoke! I think maybe... Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone! Really? A fire? We must all leave at once. Everyone out of the building. No, wait! I have to go back to my room first. Are you deranged? If you're not asphyxiated by the smoke, the flames will burn you to death. But my Daruma doll! I can't let my Daruma burn! It means too much! Ah, drat! Sorry, but I'm gonna make a dash for it upstairs.
Ha 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 ha! Oh, Reno, you're so funny!
There's no time for jokes, Iris. Go, quickly, get out of here.
But there is no fire. Is there, Hurley?
Huh?
Ah, what a delight to see that ploy enacted in the flesh. I wouldn't have dared to dream I should be so lucky.
Miss Sato? Ah ha 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 ha! What? Indeed, indeed. Indeed it was a ploy. A devilment engineered by my puckish spirit. Okay, that was it. Okay, that was his revenge. It's all a trick. But why? To get revenge. It is a simple experiment of the mind, Mr. Naruto, when his life is threatened. A fellow is compelled instinctively to protect that property to which he attaches matching importance.
And after your own life, Reno, the most important thing to you seems to be your Daruma doll.
Let's settle on that, shall we, Iris? So, you knew all along, Miss Sato, that it was a trick?
Yes, of course. The very ploy is described in this book. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. On sale now in all major London bookshops and receiving rave reviews.
Not again. I've used that device quite satisfactorily in the past to solve a case.
Oh yes, it was a great success, wasn't it? But then it became something of a habit, didn't it? You started yelling fire at every crime scene. In the end, people started to pay no attention to you at all.
Yes, that's true. There was a time when I was known as the Sholmes who cry wolf. I think there's a lesson to be learned in there somewhere. But sadly, my little ploy failed to yield results this time. Iris was utterly unmoved.
What do you mean?
Well, I was anticipating that Iris would immediately expose her secret hiding place. The location of the nest egg she must have cached somewhere in this room.
Nest egg? You think Iris has some secret savings?
Why, naturally. The book is selling like hotcakes after all. It is a simple deduction indeed to conclude that the profits must be concealed here within these walls.
She's like, I just left them at the bank, you know. Oh, Mrs. Sholmes, are you in need of money? I bet I know what it is. It's the new microscope that's gone on sale, isn't it, Hurley?
What else? I have such strong desire to own one that my purse is £1 too light. And as no offer of a loan has been forthcoming, I have been forced to resort to an alternative stratagem. Healing?
Hehe, sorry, Hurley, but I'm not falling for that. Not coming for the Sholmes who cry wolf.
Ah, how vexing! You really shouldn't be trying to steal a 10-year-old savings, you know.
My book is full of little tricks like that, you see. The army of the great detective.
Except that in this case, both the orange pips and the fake fire fell a little flat, didn't they? Oh, I have plenty more tricks up my sleeve. Take, for example, the case of the Boscombe Valley mystery. I'm already filled with dread just from the title. It is a tale of extraordinary skill on the part of the great detective. The skill of tracking. Tracking? When I arrived at the scene of the crime in the eponymous valley, there were footprints everywhere. And my eye was immediately drawn to one set in particular.
Oh, Mr. Shelps, your detective instincts are truly remarkable.
Blah. As you know, my dear madam, no detail, no matter how small, escapes the scrutiny of these eyes. So I tracked my quarry, following the trail of his footprints all the way to the man's place of residence. Did he direct us to the culprit's house? What a triumph! You misunderstand. Let me direct us to my own house, my dear fellow. Ah? For the footprints were, in the final analysis, those made by my own shoes. Great!
Elliot left here for Boscombe Valley as soon as he received a telegram about the case, you see. And then he followed his own trail straight back here to Baker Street.
No, Iris, please, you make it sound almost humdrum, but I assure you, it is no easy feat. Tracking of this nature is a skill possessed only by the great Sherlock Holmes. You're right, it really is extraordinary. Quite so extraordinary is the word, and that'll be the last on the subject. What a fool. Anyway, needless to say, I subsequently went on to solve the case with various other deductions. Yes, it's the various other deductions that I'm interested in. Oh, well, you shall have to read the book then. I'm sure Iris had penned it with her usual flourish.
Oh, absolutely. I've put an ingenious spin on the great detective's exploits.
Must have been very ingenious to make this man sound even remotely credible as a detective. Ow! Youch!
Wait, is that... Does it smell like some fish burning again?
We've had enough devilment for one day, Mr. Sholmes. Put your puckish spirit to bed. Wait, that was Iris, wasn't it? I assure you, this has nothing to do with me, or my spirit. What?
Oh no! The smoke is getting thicker!
You mean, it's not a trick this time? There really is a... Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone!
Ah!
Mr. Suttle, where are you going? Stand aside, Mr. Nuttaholo. Ah! Easy, Mr. Sholmes. What are you... Mr. Sholmes? Or did he just chuck that bust of Napoleon on the floor? Oh, look at that! In amongst all the broken porcelain. Coins! Sovereigns, in fact. Worth a whole pound each. Come, everyone. We must leave at once. Evacuate the building.
Hee. You fell for it, Hurley. Hook, line, and sinker.
Oh shit, he fell for his own trick. Ah. What you mean, Iris?
I certainly wouldn't guess that's where you'd hidden it.
Do you mean to say that the smoke was...
My own puckish spirit needs to come out and play sometime soon, you know?
What? Ah, of course. I know what it is, Iris. It's that indoor herb garden set that went on sale last week, isn't it? That's what you're after.
I want one so desperately, but I'm £4 short. And even though you told me you didn't have any money to spare before... I knew you had a secret nest egg somewhere in this room.
Ah! You've outwitted me again. Man, getting bested by a 10-year-old! You really shouldn't let yourself be outwitted by a 10-year-old child, you know.
So, thank you for the loan, Hurley. You're so kind. Oh, but wait.
What's the matter?
Where's Sissy? She's disappeared.
Oh, yes, that's right. She ran off up the stairs before, didn't she? Oh! What are you all still doing in here? We have to evacuate! Won't be long before the fires is... Oh!
Sorry, Susie. Children may get up to mischief once in a while, you know? But it's all perfectly harmless.
Harmless, maybe, but also devious! So devious. I wonder what she went to get.
Oh well, at least nobody was hurt.
Apart from Napoleon and my secret hoard. Now tell us, Miss Sato, what is it that you went so flat-footedly to fetch?
Sorry? Oh no, nothing. This is nothing. Susie, that's your notebook detailing all of Runo's trials, isn't it? It's bulging at the seams.
What? Ah, a testament to the various people you've helped over these past months. Miss Sato,
Well, I am your judicial assistant after all. I'll do anything to ensure the safety of these records, even risk my life if necessary. I mean, it's very important to me. It's like a diary of everything we've achieved together.
I'm getting all teary-eyed now. Yes, in stark contrast to a certain someone who would have fetched his stardom at all, I must say. Oh, come on! That's also important to him. It's got a similar sentimental value. Shut up. Okay, that was fun. Are there any others that are fun? Because I'm not gonna, like, drag it out. We're just gonna do, like, whatever's fun, you know? Hmm? Episode 6? In this escapade in Mr. Natsume's room, it's revealed that the Japanese scholar was once a teacher of English. He has much to say about the cultural difference between Japan and Britain. Ooh! That sounds fun.
Talon! Welcome! Hello! Thank you for coming to the stream. It's so nice to see you. How are you doing? I missed you too.
We're playing some extra content. Okay. Okay, what is this gonna be about?
So, Mr. Natsume, are you really returning home to Japan?
Yes, indeed I am. Everything is arranged already.
We'll be sad to see you go. And after Runo worked so hard to prove your innocence as well. What a shame. Feels like it was all a wasted effort.
Don't say that! I know what you're suggesting. Oh, calm down, Mr. Natsume. It's all fine, really. Saucy nuts, Meg! You are in good company here, sir. If you fear the Reaper, you needn't hide the fact. I am a proud citizen of the Empire of Japan. I am not a scaredy cat! Talking of cats, Mr. Jones just casually threw one among the pigeons there. Whoop! A man like me belongs in Japan, not here. If the 7 also quite do, and episode 8 is a must-play. Okay, let's do 7 and 8 and then call it a day then. I think that works fine. We're a bit over 2 hours. I think that'll like work out fine, time-wise. That's what I've come to realize. I wonder. A mustache such as yours, eminently suited to London, I would say. Here goes Mr. Jones throwing another cat in. The moment I arrived in the city, I noticed. Everyone in London laughs at me behind my back! Like hyenas! Hysterical hyenas ha-haing horribly!
I'm sure that's not true, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, that's definitely true. I feel bad for him. Oh, but it is. Whenever I turn around and peer down the fog-filled street, all I see is foreigners everywhere. Yes.
Well, there's you, Runo, and Susie in here, so that's 3 foreigners out of 5 people. I take your point.
Only the other day, I was taking a stroll through the fog as usual, when a young man approached me from ahead. He was pale and gaunt, his back arched like a cat. Observing his wretchedness moved me so deeply. Ah, I thought to myself, I'm the only one suffering in this hell. But, do you know what? Can you imagine? It's just my own reflection in a shop window. A stunning, stitching, stupefying surprise! Don't forget to slap in the face. Everyone started laughing at me. Gentlemen thereabouts, ladies passing by. Even the man in the shop window! Ah, yes. An assigned great detective would like to be included among the mirthful. That's what his hand has an amazing use of real person in this type of game. Yeah, he's like a very exaggerated kind of like version. Ah! Mr. Jones is really going for Soul Sega-san today. He's really being had.
Well, I, for one, think you're a very handsome man, Mr. Natsume.
There, did you hear that? This 10-year-old girl thinks you're handsome. Isn't that wonderful? Ah, that makes me feel suspiciously warm inside. He looks genuinely delighted. That's good. 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 Can more people please be nice to him? Thank you. I very much appreciate that. The point is, we Japanese are humble and modest. Studying on foreign soil, surrounded by foreign people. How could anyone possibly enjoy that? No one could. It's impossible. If you're genuine Japanese.
If you say so. Actually, it would appear that there is someone. A Japanese man who studied in a foreign country and seems to have thrived on the experience.
There is.
Mr. Ogai Mori. I believe he studied in Germany.
Mr. Mori? Pray tell us more of the fellow.
Well, today, he is a very successful author in Japan.
Oh, I heard of him. He's the professor who wrote My Hime, isn't he?
My... Hime?
I suppose in English the title would be Dancing Queen, maybe?
Oh, I see. A tale of a woman who waltzed her way through the world, perhaps. You really needn't make up a silly translation, you know. It's already officially called The Dancing Girl in English.
Huh.
It seems Mr. Mori greatly enjoyed his time in Germany. He became close with a local lady while he was there.
Close, you say? With a local lady? A compatriot's criminally contradictory contact! Blech. His lines are way harder to say than tongue twisters. Well, I suppose your experience of studying abroad depends to a large extent on your character. As they say. Many men, many minds! Mr. Mori has an open mind. Mr. Natsume, a closed one. Possibly a slightly black and white view, do you think, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, anyway. If that's how you feel about being abroad, why did you choose to study here?
Wasn't it to further our nation's understanding of the English language or something? Yes, that's right. So what were you doing in Japan before you came to Great Britain then? I was a school teacher. Of English, of course. That's interesting.
A bit cursory, perhaps, but I've managed to discover some information about Mr. Natsume's teaching days.
Is that... I feel like that book is just like a portal to the internet. That's just a little outside the field of law, isn't it, Miss Sato?
Well, let me pose you a question, Mr. Naruhodo. If you had to translate the English phrase, I love you, into Japanese, what would it become? We're gonna do the Skika Kirei desu ne one, right? It's easy. Aishiteru or ski desu. Yeah. Wrong! According to Mr. Natsume's teaching,
At least. Yeah, this is something from... Yes.
What? Would you like to explain, Mr. Natsume?
Yeah, I know this one. Yes, of course. Your research was very thorough. I always used to tell my students that we Japanese don't express ourselves that way. Rather, we might say, "Ski ga kirei desu ne." I knew it. Because the whole point about this phrase, right? For anyone who hasn't heard this spiel like a million times already, the reason for this, that it's like this is because, the point is that we have these two to-be lovers, in a way, sort of talking to each other, and one of them wants to confess their feelings, but because of, societal pressures and blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah, they can't. So instead they'll say something cryptic, like, "Tsuki ga kirei desu ne," the moon is very beautiful tonight. instead. And it sort of became sort of this indirect love language almost. It's very interesting, really. So yeah. My dear Mr. Natsume, I must interject. Tsuki kirei desu ne, would translate as the moon is beautiful, isn't it? Yep. I know that!
The point is that we Japanese are reticent when it comes to expressing our emotions. We prefer to show our feelings of adoration, or ski, by appreciating the beauty of the moon. Ski, ha 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 ha.
Pun. Context of society certainly changes stuff across the world. It really does, Kuma. Yes, that's correct. Ah, using the ski to express tsuki. It's an amusing play of words, I see. No! Or, in language you might understand better, bad shelves! Not a play on words. It's subtle, it's humble, it's fleeting and beautiful. It's art! Love is art!
Isn't it just being shy?
Yeah, correct. Ah! My dear fellow, the foreign dancing girl will forever be out of your reach with such an attitude. Ugh. Imagine how the great Mr. Mori would act. Wow, ouchie, ouchie. He will win the lady's heart in a flash with a well-placed and unrestrained I love you. Ah! That's smooth, Mr. Mori! Am I destined to live in his shadow forever? What sort of man is he in that imagination of yours? The fact is, I just can't settle in this foggy London town with all these foreign inhabitants. I just counted the number of different lodgings I tried before I found myself here. We sort of always have an RNG element to each of us in cases of like this lol. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like life is different for everyone and sort of the way people express themselves and stuff. I do agree on the case that love should be expressed more freely. Of course, love can be expressed in many ways. That's why we have such a thing as love language. It's very different for each person. Some people express it verbally, some people express it through action, some people express it through gestures or other things, you know? Like, people share love in many different ways, but I do think it's important to focus on this idea of, like, not, like, because there's always that, like, oh, you have to say saying I love you for your most special person ever, but it's like, if you love someone, tell them you love them. Your friends, your family, whoever, your cat, your fucking bookshelf, I don't care. If you love someone, just say it. Like, the world cannot become lesser from having much more love in it. I just don't think like that. As it happens, I even lived on Baker Street at one time.
No, really?
A Sao scholar lives near there, a man by the name of William James Craig. His knowledge of Sao was unsurpassed. He's been a great inspiration to me over the... Forgive the interruption, but am I supposed to be familiar with the Sao of which you speak? It's Shakespeare, of course. Shakespeare! But in Japanese, we write this as Sa and O. It's a phonetic representation using kanji characters. England is Igirisu, and America is America. Yeah. Come to think of it, we use the same character as Ri in the word Risu in another. Talk about confusing. So Shakespeare is Sao in Japanese. Presumably Sa is a brutal attempt as the first shot, in which case, where's the spear?
I never thought of that. We only have the O left.
Which could, even as the most charitable interpretation, only be a brutal attempt at old man.
Seems to me that whoever had the job of deciding on the character's first name got bored very early on.
Complete kanji character catastrophe! What? So then, on to the burning question. What about me? How do you write my name? So this is actually, because this is actually a bit different. than than how it's portrayed. Like, they say that it's like a phonetic representation, but it's not completely correct. Cause like if you have America, right? It's actually written as like rice country, I believe, Beikoku, and that's pronounced America. So it's not necessarily it's a thing that's been like in modern days. It's called ateji, which is adding kanji to a term. Trying not to chuckle because you got the reference. Yeah. So it's basically like adding kanji to a term that didn't have kanji before. And you can do it both as like a representation phonetically, but it can also be a representation of meaning. It depends. And that's the problem. For instance, in the Japanese version of this game, you write the Old Bailey with some long spiel in kanji, and then it's written as like furigana on top. It just says Old Doberi, and it's like, okay. But it's like, it's got nothing to do. Kanji's a trip and a half. Yeah, it is. And some of the stuff still remains. It's very confusing. It is very, 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 very confusing. Okay. Sorry? Herlock Sholmes, my dear fellow. There must be Japanese characters for my name.
Oh dear. I am sorry, Mr. Sholmes, but none exist that I'm aware of.
What? I'm no native English speaker, and yet I love me English. Yeah. Am I really nothing to you, Japanese? In that case, it is a matter of paramount importance. You must construct my name in kanji at once. Well, you can use a kanji that's pronounced so to start with, and then use one more to give. So, perhaps. I think that'll be about right, Mr. Sholmes.
But that's almost the same as so, isn't it?
Yes, you employed the dreaded O. I don't want people to confuse me with an old man who died centuries ago. I'm sure the world's greatest literary figure would better not be confused with you either. But the world's greatest detective is still youthful and full of vigor. So how about so hands? Eat shit. Eat shit.
Oh yes, that sounds wonderful. I'm sure everyone will be calling you that in 100 years from now.
No. How can you say that with a straight face? I know! How can you... How?
What about me then, Iris? Perhaps Aihime? Since the second character doesn't seem to matter.
That's cute. Aihime. I love that.
Aihime? Oh yes, Princess of Love. That's an adorable name for you, Iris.
Stop! Please! With a name like that! Mr. Morty is likely to turn up at any moment and rashly declare, I love you! No! Ew! Ew, 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 no, 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 no. Miss Morty-san has become quite a character in Sosuke-san's mind. And you, Mr. Naruhodo? Might I venture? Crudo Bull is a fitting name for you? Yeah, it's a dark monk. Yep.
Oh, that's very good. It describes you perfectly, Bruno.
I think I'll be wearing this black varsity uniform for the rest of my days, do you?
But Mr. Naruhodo already has a Japanese name.
But I don't believe he needs another.
Well, anyway. We were talking about your life here in London, weren't we, Mr. Natsume? You should just get out and have fun.
Wow. Clean your room, bucko. Ugh, the landlady has said so much to me, too. Mrs. Garrida. But it wasn't fun at all. It was frightful.
Whatever do you mean?
Just call me Nick. It sounds right for some reason. Yeah, actually, okay, so you wanna... Okay, I have the funniest story. I have to tell this. So I have a really good friend, right? And his name is Nick. And, he is into VTubers and stuff. And apparently some of the VTubers he's been watching has started playing the Great Ace Attorney and stuff. And recently he was like, you know what? I caved. And he showed me a screenshot of him, like, buying the original trilogy of these games. And then he started playing, right? And in the very first scene, you have Larry come in and he's like, listen to me, Nick, my life is over, right? And he was like, how does the game know my name? Did they go into the files? And I seriously had to sit down and be like, are you shitting on me? Like, are you joking? And he was like, no, I'm completely serious. And then I had to explain to him that Nick is just Larry's nickname for Phoenix. And it was just so funny, because, like, it's like, he genuinely, I genuinely thought that it was like the game had somehow figured out his name. It was so enjoyable. I loved it. Amazing. It was fucking amazing.
Whatever do you mean?
A cycle incident. An incident on a bicycle? Oh yes, come to think of it. Oh, the lore for the bicycle, everyone! Yeah, definitely not that kind of deep metagame, lol. I know. There's an old bicycle park just outside, isn't there? It's in a sorry state, though. It was really funny. Oh my god, did you not even teach him to go? Oh. Joan! Also, for some reason the game is like really... Is it bugging? Is it just me? I'm trying to figure out. It might just be me, you know? I tried to say no to her, but she insisted I took it for a ride. Perhaps my pronunciation was wrong. So I took my life in my hands and attempted to ride the steel spiderweb stallion to a nearby park. I really don't think there's anything wrong.
I really don't think there's anything wrong with your pronunciation, Mr. Natsume.
I'm carried if this isn't the kind of woman to take no for an answer. It flashed for a brief moment, but otherwise seems to be working fine. Yeah, it did for me too, but like there doesn't seem to be any issues with connection or anything, so I'm kind of confused about. Maybe the game just had some little, you know. If you're going to die, you might as well die in the beautiful surroundings, so the park was my first thought. After a whole day of dicing with death, I emerged with only relatively minor bruises. So, you got the knack of it? Don't be silly. Dying isn't something you can learn to do.
Mr. Natsume, you keep talking about dicing with death and dying and so forth, but... riding a bicycle is supposed to be fun.
Oh no, that's just what people tell you. But it's an old wives' tale.
Is it?
Let me just consider the real name of the vehicle. It's not called a dicycle for nothing. How anyone expects to use such an aptly named vehicle to move forwards is beyond me. Pedal power promises pain!
I didn't think it was possible to get worse with practice.
I'm lucky to be alive! Although, I must say, he needs a hug. He needs a hug so bad. After looking death in the eye for a whole week, I did at least manage to mount the steed reliably. Notwithstanding a few wobbles, I found I could make progress in the forward direction. What a triumph. Deduction is much the same. When first presented with a problem, the mental exertion of trying to solve it leads to bitter disappointment. But after a week of picking one's way carefully along the path of reasoning and thought, one begins to see results. So is that why all your off-the-cuff deductions always seem half-baked?
What a wonderful insight into your extraordinary mind, Mr. Sholmes!
She speaks over us very quickly. Unfortunately, after wobbling down the street, I noticed there were little stones everywhere, death traps. Not that way, I said to myself. But the wild vehicle wouldn't listen. It wobbled me on and on down the street. So of course, I hit one of those deadly stones, and the crazy cold threw me. It's just my luck. Bicycles are the epitome of my pitiful life. I wish I could disagree. Jesus.
On the same subject. I'm sure there's a famous American author who's written about having a similar experience.
Oh yes, I've read that essay too, Iris. Some of us are better read than others. Well, no more bicycles for me! I love that he's just calling them bicycles now.
Oh, Mr. Natsume. At least you have an interesting anecdote to take with you back to Japan, if nothing else.
You always manage to put a positive spin on things, don't you, Mrs. Subtle? Personally, I haven't mounted a bicycle for some time.
No, me neither.
That's good. So how about a jaunt? We shall roll right out together. Huh? That sounds great. I'll perch behind Mrs. Sato. But... The sun is going down. It will be pitch black before long.
London street lamps are very bright, you know, and the fog isn't too thick today.
My beloved ride is all bent out of shape. My dear fellow, you're bound to topple the vehicle anyway. It's fitting that it's already bent out of shape. Ouch.
Miss Holden, come along, Mr. Natsume, shall we go?
Oof. Skiga kirei desu ne. Don't tell me that's a translation of no thank you as well. Indeed, Mr. Natsume. The moon is at its most beautiful. It's precisely this time of the evening. I just want to steer one of those anyway. I do not want to know. They do not seem fun to steer. Oh.
We're not Japanese. Can't beat around the bush with us.
Like, they seem like they would be hard to turn. Like, one thing is driving straight on one of those things. They have big wheels, but like, how do you turn it? What a weird and wonderful world! That was fun. That was fun. How fun. Okay. Okay, you said 7 and 8. Let's do that. Boop. Jesus. Why am I yawning so much today? Okay, better now. 30th of April, 25 Briar Road. How is it still snowing on the 30th of April? Are you in Denmark? Sir, Constable Rowley Beat, reporting for duty. Thanks to the good officers of Lorraine 6. I'm back on my beat here in the capital, doing my best for the good citizens of London. Sir!
Ah, my Rowley, back in his Bobby's uniform. You couldn't look any more handsome if you tried.
Oh, my love, you say the sweetest things. Oh, Pat.
Oh, Rowley.
So dumb, I hate them. To us, Lorraine 6 isn't the Reaper of the Bailey at all.
Oh no, of course not. He's the patron saint of Bobby's.
The patron saint. Oh yes, Pat, you're so right, my darling. Keeping us in pocket, he is. On my first day back on the job, what did I find in the gutter? A shilling, my love. A whole shilling.
Oh, Rowley, I always believed in you. I always knew one day you'd find some big small change.
I love them. I just a shilling. I could buy you a cheap bunch containing a single flower, my sugar.
A single flower? Oh, how romantic.
But I'm so sorry, Pat. Only moments ago, that shilling disappeared.
Disappeared? But how, my love? How?
I think maybe, no, I'm sure. It was this girl right here, sir. You swiped my precious shilling, didn't you, you cheeky little diver?
Blimey. You took your time getting round to me, didn't you? I thought that lovey-dovey stuff were never gonna end. So, a shilling, you say? Lifted from your word? Don't know nothing about it. What's the evidence, eh?
Right there, the evidence dancing around the back of your hand, long young lady. You stole it from me. You lifted it from my pocket just now. You've got nerve stealing from a Bobby.
Cobblers! This coin's mine! How could you know, anyway? How could you know if it was taken just now or not?
Dear me, you don't get it, do you? No, I don't. We've hardly got a penny to our name. That coin felt as heavy to me as a bar of gold.
Eh?
I'll tell you, the moment it left my pocket, I knew. I felt myself get a good few pounds lighter.
Ah!
Yep, I kind of got my blood, sweat, and tears all over it. What? That's a bit concerning.
What's the matter with you, eh? Mr. Naruto? Huh? Me? Sorry? What? When a lady's in trouble, a true girl's supposed to be in there to help straight away, not an hour later.
This isn't my fault. I haven't stolen anything.
But what about you, eh, Sholmes?
I thought you were supposed to be a great detective. Dear me, Mr. Strahd. You took your time getting around to me, didn't you? I thought that long dispute was never gonna end.
You only said give us a minute when we spotted you over the road and said hello. And that was 10 minutes ago, Ginny. We've just been standing here listening to you quarrel with this Bobby. God.
I beg your pardon, madam. We shouldn't be troubling the public with the police business.
But that shilling belongs to us, doesn't it, Rolly?
Of course it does, my love. It's just for you and me, my darling.
Grr.
This is just supposed to be a nice stroll with Iris and Mr. Jones before afternoon tea. Why do we have to run into another fiasco on Briar Road? Why is it always these places? I don't really see how we could be of any help, Gina. There's no way of knowing who the coin really belongs to if it was just dropped in the gutter.
I wouldn't be so sure of that, Bruno.
What?
I have a feeling I might know the answer to the question of whose coin that is.
Ah, my bright young fellow lodger, let us hear your deduction.
Well, there's actually a reason why I suggested a stroll down Briar Road.
Oh, what reason?
You see, I was here yesterday and, well, I dropped a little something. So I wanted to come and look for it while enjoying an afternoon stroll.
Wait, you dropped something? You don't mean...
It was the pocket money that Hurley gave me.
What's this, Iris? You dropped that, did you?
I'm sorry. I went to the market on Lime Street yesterday to pick up some herbs, you see. But on the way, I must have dropped it. The one shilling coin you gave me.
Oh! A one-bot bit?
Yes, and when I thought back over the road I took, I realized I must have dropped it here. Possible you haven't seen it, have you? It's all my pocket money, and now it's gone.
Well, I'm afraid I don't know anything about that, young lady.
What rotten luck, dropping your money like that. Sorry.
I dare say the constable and his companion could give you a run for your money with their wide eyes. If it's all the same to you, Mr. Jones, I think I'd prefer not to be used as the yardstick for looking guilty. Thank you. Well, it's tough really, ain't it, Iris? You dropped it, so it ain't yours no more. Anyway, you know what they say. What goes around comes around, so don't feel bad. Bad luck, Iris. It doesn't look like you're gonna get your coin back.
Oh, I can't believe I've lost it. Straight after Hurley gave it to me as well.
Yes, regrettable indeed. I seem to recall the particular coin was rather significant. What do you mean, significant?
To be specific, it was especially significant to you, Bruno.
Significant to me? Ah, you don't mean... It was the coin from last night's wager? The very same, my dear fellow. What's this then? What wager?
It was a game of poker. A duel between Hurley and Bruno.
Poker? The tricky card game, you mean? As a lawyer, I have the perfect poker face. You'll never be able to tell what I'm thinking, said he. But depriving Mr. Netherholder of his entire fortune was even easier than finding that missing thoroughbred. It was so infuriating, reliving it now still makes me grit my teeth. Sorry, Iris. I had every intention of paying you back the money I owe you, but you'll have to wait, I'm afraid.
Yes, I know. Don't worry. Next month is fine.
Let me guess, Otto. Your whole fortune. It was one whole shilling, my entire monthly stipend, and I lost all of it. As I handed it over to Mr. Sholmes, I gritted my teeth so hard my gums started to bleed.
Please, Bruno, don't exaggerate. That's a horrible image.
What about a lawyer who borrows money from a 10-year-old girl? Now that's a horrible image. Why do I feel like my reputation with this cobble is just falling through the floor? Whoop! There it goes. Ha 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 ha! There are a few things more invigorating than taking a man for all his worth.
Don't be so pleased with yourself, Hurley. It's not as if Bruno ever had a chance of winning.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that?
Well, using that special ink I developed, anyone could...
Thank you, Iris. That will do. I'm sure this conversation is proving very dull for everyone. What's done is done. The game is over now. There's no point crying over spilt milk. Special ink! Special ink, you said. Wait, sad. That sounds like the sort of risky business that's right up my alley. He cheated. He fucking cheated. He cheated! Oh my god.
Oh, Rolly, I love your dauntless spirit. You laugh in the face of danger.
Come on then, Iris. Spill it. What's this special ink about, eh?
Ah, well, it's what's sometimes called invisible ink.
Ooh.
All you have to do is write the suit and number on the reverse side of every card. And with the Edison special glasses, the whole game is laid bare to you.
Wait, you were wearing glasses last night, weren't you, Mr. Sholmes? You cheater. You said something along the lines of, my eyesight appears to have suddenly worsened. My dear fellow. And the moment you failed to question that as odd was the moment I knew I had won the game. Mind games, was it? Trying to throw me off with your eccentric ways? So you're telling me Sholmes could see every cardboard auto ad? What? But that's not mind games, that's blatant cheating! My dear fellow, what an accusation. Would you honestly consider me a cheat? Yes! Please, I prefer trickster. Shut up. Whatever you call it, the game doesn't count now. Understand, Sholmes? Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Dear me. Well, out of respect for the bad grace with which you take defeat, allow me to return your shilling. Did you hear that, Gina? So give it here. Eh? Leave me out of this. You see, one bop bit was mine from the start, no question. No, sir. That one bop bit was lifted from this here Bobby's pocket only a few minutes ago. So you keep saying. Come on, then. Where's the evidence? Eh? The law, right? It's all about evidence. I know my stuff. She knows her stuff. You see, Mr. Naruhodo? Use a trite excuse in court and others will parrot it. Only whenever I do say that in court, it isn't a trite excuse, you know. As I said, sir, that coin has got my blood, sweat, and tears all over it.
That's right, it has. Roller's blood, sweat, and tears are the evidence. Blood, you say? In that case, it's time for this!
Ah, do you think...
Well, if there's any trace of blood on that coin, we'll soon know about it. Alright, Ginny. Hold very still.
Hey? What? Ah! Look at that. See there on the coin? It's clearly changed color. In other words, there's blood on this coin. Once again, as I said, sir, that would be my blood, sweat, and tears.
Oh, wait, I've seen blood turn that color before. Yes, I know whose it is. I know whose coin it is.
It's time for this. She shoots everyone, pretty much. What?
The rightful owner of this bloodstained shilling is... Bruno!
Me? From the appearance of the blood, I would say it is quite fresh. Left within the last 24 hours. Within the last... Ah! Then, in that case... So, this is the coin what Sholmes had of Otto last night in the poker game.
Oh, Bruno, do you mean you really did make your gums bleed?
I told you, I was so infuriated to lose, I had to grit my teeth as I handed over the money. Blimey! You're as hard up as me about the sound of it. But I thought you had a proper job. Come on, Gina. Just hand it over, would you? The shilling, that's rightfully mine. My money! Give it... Ah, fine, alright then. Just stop your bleeding staring. Yeah, because he doesn't get paid. Like, that's like a... Is that like an in-character fact that he just doesn't get paid as a lawyer? Ah, I finally have it back. It's like a dream come true. Don't gamble, you idiot.
I nearly had that one in the bag and all. It's wonderful news, Bruno. I'm so happy for you. Now then, as you promised. I'd like my money back, please. The shilling I lent you before.
Oh, ouch.
You decided you paid back out of this month's pocket money, didn't you?
Oh, yes. Well then, I suppose. No money for him. My dear fellow, do be kind to your gums. Looks like that shilling was always destined to be taken from you, sir.
For some reason, the phrase serves you right is floating around in my head.
So, Iris, as promised, here is the shilling I owe you.
Oh? You were paying me already? Well, thank you. Next month would have been fine, though.
What's it all about, anyway? What are you lending Otto money for?
Yes, well, actually, it's because I went to the live stream market yesterday to buy herbs. Bruno!
Herbs? For Otto? Yes, the team has set the lift behind this top-quality Gyokuro tea, but it's just so bitter. So when Iris suggested mixing it with some herbs to make it more palatable, I asked her to buy me some.
That's right, we made special Japanese herbal tea with the leftover Gyokuro. I'm gonna call it Susie's Special Blend. I do hope you'll all try it.
The excruciating bitterness clings to the throat. If you can persuade the bright green gloop to leave the cup. Why, it sounds quite delicious. Yeah, right. All ado about tea. These escapades are longer than I thought. Well, it would appear the shilling's brief adventures are now at an end. Adventures? You must agree, my dear fellow, that the coin has made a considerable journey since last night. Let's see. Originally, it was the coin I was supposed to give to Iris to pay her for the herbs. But then, in our poker duel last night, it passed to you, Mr. Jones. Who gave it to Iris as spending money?
But then I dropped it here sometime yesterday. And my beloved Rolly found it a little while ago and picked it up.
Before it was lifted from my pocket by this here diver.
I then used my favorite gun to show off the blood that was on it.
And the shit about Sholmes' little scam in his card game last night. The annulment of which resulted in the coin returning to the ownership of Mr. Netherhuddle, allowing me to pay Iris the money I owed her after all. To the herb she'd bought me in order to make Susie's special blend tea.
And now, after all that, the coin is resting safely in my pocket.
And it's just not there. That'd be funny. That would be really funny. Yeah, you're right. That was an adventure. What are we supposed to take away from it, eh? That this 1 shilling coin belongs to Iris and Iris alone, I think. I cannot fault your observation, Mr. Netherhuddle.
Well, you know what they say. What goes around, goes around.
Why do I get the feeling that Iris knew it was coming around to her from the very beginning? Ha 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 ha. Priceless, as they say. No, it's worth 1 shilling, Sholmes. Jesus. Well then, my dear fellow, how about this evening we indulge in some bitter tea around a bitter rematch? I'll even allow you to stake the coming month's spending money in advance. I fold. No. No. Who would be like, oh, I just got exposed for cheating, but do you want to play with me tomorrow anyway? The answer is no. Okay, what's this one? His escapade takes place in the Old Bailey courtroom, where the defendant is none other than Sholmes himself, and the charge is the most mysterious murder. Yunuskin naturally advocates for the defense against the unflappable Reaper, Lord Mensix, but Sholmes' testimony calls the true culprit of the crime into question. What the fuck? What the fuck? What? Oh my god, that's funny. What? Okay, this is the last one we're gonna play for today. Date unknown, the Old Bailey courtroom. Oh wow, non-canon timeline. This court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Harlock Sholmes. This is a most extraordinary case of murder. Counsel, I assume I may proceed? Yes, my lord. The defense is ready. At your discretion, my lord. Very well. I hereby call on the prosecution to introduce the case. I'm gonna try my best hand at a Vensig's voice because I don't have Argo's smooth tone. The incident in question took place 2 days ago, late at night, when the ground was blanketed with snow. The location of the incident was the residence of the accused, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. Indeed, the now famous address of number 221B Baker Street, was it? The address may have enjoyed fame once, my lord, but will henceforth endure infamy for this grim crime. Yes, sir. Well put. The victim, a certain Madame Rossi, was found asphyxiated on the accused's sofa. My word. But it's unclear as to whether the victim was actually killed in the defendant's suite or not. After all, when Mr. Sholmes left the room for only a brief moment, Madame Rossi somehow vanished herself out of his room completely. What? Vanished herself, counsel? The victim? Quite true, my lord. There is but one adjoining door between my drawing room and kitchen. Yet, having brewed some tea in the kitchen, I returned to find the room completely empty. There was nobody else present. Ordinarily, my fellow lodger, Iris, would have been at home. However, on the day in question, she had been invited to a meeting of a scientific society in the city. I can't help but feel this is but one elaborate, long-running pun. I know, right? I'm afraid you have a propensity for exaggeration, sir. You claim the victim vanished herself, but really, it seems to me entirely plausible that she chose to leave via the main entrance to your suite. As it happens, my lord, the door to the accused's room was locked at the time, from the inside. Very true, Inspector. As such, I can say with considerable surety that the victim did not leave via my front door. But what about, aha, yes, she could have stuck out through the window. The windows in the room were not locked. It's true. And the victim had the opportunity, however. There was snow all around the building outside, and not a patch of it had been disturbed. Would my learned friend care to explain how the victim could have left without leaving a trail? So the victim, Madame Rossi, somehow vanished from the scene before she was killed. Okay. Ah! Naturally, I was alarmed by the sudden disappearance of my guest. So I summoned this gentleman, who resides in the attic room above my own, and we took a cab to Scotland Yard. I can confirm that the defendant called for me, and I saw his suite on my way downstairs. And yes, I'm quite sure it was empty, just as Mr. Sholmes has said. When we reached the yard, this very detective happened to be there. Ah, well, yes, you see. It's just in my office for a while, haven't got back from some, important business. And then, having explained the situation to the inspector, we traveled back to Baker Street together. At the time, there were no footprints in the snow around the building other than the ones we'd made. Do I take it then, counsel, that you personally witnessed the scene where the incident took place? No, my lord. I went straight up to bed in my own room in the attic. Inspector Gregson, however, was met with a most blood-curdling sight. On Mr. Sholmes' sofa, the vanished Madame Rossi, motionless. So the victim was already dead when you discovered her, Inspector? No, my lord. Not dead. But not far off it. She mustered all her remaining strength to say these dying words. That rotter, Sholmes, will be the death of me. Ah, yes, I overheard that remark at the time, too. Delivered in a rasping voice, full of malice. No. Those words indeed proved to be her last. The victim expired moments later, there on the sofa. The cause of death was identified as damage to the respiratory tract as a result of strangulation. They did model the bottom of the cape! I'm sorry. I think that was my first time noticing that. I'm sorry. I really appreciate that. Yay! Woo! Pray, does the accused dare to contest the inspector's account? Certainly not. In fact, the inspector has done an unusually fine job of summarizing the salient points. Sholmes will be the death of me. Damning departing words indeed. In her final moments, the victim named her killer. You, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. But the defendant had no reason to take the victim's life. perhaps you could tell the court, Mr. Sholmes, who exactly this Madame Rosie was? Oh, yes, of course. Did I never mention her to you? Okay, well, what is this? I had extended an invitation to her that evening, as she is loquacious in the extreme. The most trivial of matters quickly becomes a quarrel. I was only too pleased to leave her presence to make tea. Great! It would appear then that the accused did in fact have a motive for silencing his heuristic guest permanently. I don't know, does that count like a motive? Being like, oh, I find her kind of annoying. She's very annoying. Is that like a murder motive? Do you find that to be a murder? Would you kill someone just because they were annoying to you, Vince? Damn. Putting the tenuous motive aside, what about the other mysteries surrounding the case? I'm inclined to agree with the defense. There remain a number of inscrutable details. The victim's alleged disappearance and subsequent reappearance leaving no trail of footprints, for example. That's right. The crime described by the prosecution could never have happened. Yet the victim named the accused in her dying breath. It seems to me that my learned friend has overlooked a significant detail here. Nonsense! What have I overlooked? The man in the dock, the so-called great detective, all too frequently makes the following bold claim. There's no crime beyond the realms of possibility. No mystery beyond my powers of reasoning. Ah! He eats expensive wine, no, okay. And chalices on a daily basis. Nothing is beneath him. True. Do I still have my list? Because I feel like he's gonna pull a fast one on me. Wait, where did my list go? Wait. He's gonna pull a fast one on me and he's gonna do it again. Does it count in the side content? You have to- yeah, I found my list. Woo! Okay. We're at 48. Let's see if he can get it to 50. So, Mr. Sholmes, you will have no difficulty in explaining how the crime thus described could have taken place. Therefore, I propose a toast to the great detective upholding his name. Right. But of course, were I to put my mind to the matter, the crime would immediately appear to all present to be entirely feasible. Please, Mr. Sholmes, whose side are you on? All you need to say is no! Even I can't think of a way that a crime like that could have been committed. Let the accused's admission be noted by the court. Though the crime may appear impossible to mortals of inferior mental capacity, this man alone, there it is, claims to know exactly how it was done. There it is. Now hold on! It's a very fragile argument. Thank you, counsels. I believe I've heard more than enough to proceed my adjudication. The accused's great detective did, in some inscrutable manner, willfully murder the victim, Madame Rosie. I therefore find the defendant guilty! Let this man be taken from this courtroom and, in some equally inscrutable manner, be sanctioned for his crimes. Court is adjourned. No! My lord, please. Jail! It's jail time! Jail, 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 jail! The truth about the mystery surrounding this case are known to another besides the great detective. What's this? Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you're coming along wonderfully. You've deduced a fundamental truth about this case, I believe. Which would be, detective, that the truth of this case is known only to the true culprit, obviously. Is that not so, Greco-san? Hey, what? Well, I suppose, yes. You don't mean you're suggesting, Mr. Sholmes, that you have an idea as to what actually happened that night? An idea? My dear fellow. I could explain the entire incident from start to finish with not a single detail omitted. It seems the detective has failed to grasp the situation. Right, Mr. Reaper. Which of us has truly failed to grasp the situation, I wonder? Then answer me this. You claim that prior to the incident, the victim suddenly vanished without a trace from your room. If so, how exactly did Madame Rosie disappear?
She is a disappearing artist.
Why, naturally, via the window. It was a jar, after all. But that can't be. The room is a whole story above street level, and anyway, no prints were found in the snow. There are any number of ways one could avoid leaving tracks in the snow, surely. Such as? Such as flying, for instance. What? A fatuous notion. And to where do you propose the victim flew, Mr. Sholmes? Is it not entirely plain? To the culprit's abode, of course. For, having left my suite, that is clearly where the Madame Rosie was murdered. Take a moment to consider the cruel irony, if you will. By her own volition, she flew directly to her death. Circus case PTSD intensive. No! I had willfully forgotten the cave incident. Why did you have to remind me? Why? 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 Can we not? Do you forget, detective? The victim's corpse was discovered on your own sofa. No doubt because her killer carried her back there. But what about the leg of footprints in the snow again, then? There just weren't any. Other than our own from when we returned home ourselves. If by our footprints you refer to your own and mine, you are quite right. But there were those of another. On the night in question, there was one other person who could have conveyed the victim to my sofa. What? Good gracious, to whom do you refer, sir? A man whose somewhat unavailing presence at the scene of the crime would be questioned by no one. Unavailing? You don't mean... Indeed I do. A man who hastened to the scene directly upon learning of the incident at Scotland Yard, namely... You, Inspector Gregson.
Eh?
When you arrived at my address on Baker Street, you were carrying the half-dead Madame Rosie with you. You waited for a suitable opportunity, and then laid the victim on my sofa. Remember this clown? No? Oh god. Ugh. Oh, I had even more repressed him! Thank you, Argo, for ruining my goddamn life. Shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. I'm not taking this la 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 la. I'm not hearing anything. He did what? What? Who? What? Nani? But we were with the inspector when he arrived. How could he possibly have been carrying the victim? We would have noticed. My dear fellow, the most obvious answer presents itself, does it not? The inspector is rarely, if ever, without his overcoat. The victim is simply conveyed in one of its many pockets. The victim isn't human, is she?
Mama! Thank you so much! Ah!
Thank you so much for the sub. Mwah! Mwah! Thank you, Momo. I love you, love you, love you.
Hello!
Hi, honey. I think our victim isn't human. Or something. Is it like a parrot? Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. There's nothing plot relevant. You don't have to stop watching. If you're worried about spoilers, there's no spoilers. This is all bullshit. This is all bullshit. Don't worry about it. I fail to see what makes this detective great, but I can say one thing with great certainty: he is full of shit. Yeah. Don't worry about it. There's like this is like the escapades, which is like extra content. A human body cannot fit into the pocket of an overcoat. Oh, wow! I'm so shocked! I'm telling you, Madame Rosie isn't a fucking it's a fucking parrot or something. I really wanted to stream, but man oh man did my motivation drop down. Aww. I'm so sorry to hear that, Momo. If you need to talk afterwards, just let me know. This is the last one I'm doing, so you can just hit me up after stream and I'll send you some love. Don't worry about it. You can always come talk to me, you know that. Oh, ah! I hate when I do that. I believe you may have fallen foul of a rather significant misapprehension. She's not human! What? Madame Rosie is a parrot! Madame Rosie was not human. I knew it! I'm just pooped, I think. Need to calm down and get back to my vitamins. Good boy. That's good. I beg your pardon? Mr. Sholmes. Yes, Mr. Niddledall. Something troubles you, perhaps. Whatever gives you that idea? Exactly what sort of creature was Madame Rosie? I think Madame Rosie was a parrot. Is it not a parrot already? A parakeet, of course. Yeah, a bird. I knew it. Huh? Blub blub. A most self-conceited specimen, in fact. A parakeet? That's why she could fly, get it? She was an incessant talker, I must say. Her manner was quite intolerable at times. Want to turn every conversation into a crawl. I fought to strangle the creature on more than one occasion. You had a quarrel with a parakeet? But of course, why else would she have chosen to fly from my window so uncordially that evening? To the abode of the inspector here beside me, no less. Your neighbors? It's Inspector Gregson's abode, but why? What? Because that was the parakeet's home, naturally. What? It was Gregson's pet? What are you? The inspector was called away from town for some days, so it was arranged that I would look after the bird. But it would appear that she was overcome with a sudden yearning for her keeper. Thus prompting her flight from my comfortable suite to the inspector's office at Scotland Yard. Well, Gregson, I believe it's hard time to explain. This is great. I love it. Give us your account of what happened that night, sparing no details, of course. Inspector Gregson? It was an accident. Got back from being away that evening, you see. Just walked through the door of my office. Imagine Madame Rosie would be on our way back to the yard as well. My bird is dead, you cheeky breaky. I slammed the door shut behind me, just as she was trying to fly through it. No! So Madame Rosie... She got sandwiched between the door and the frame and fell to the floor. Never to move again. Because of me. That's so sad! No! Well, I never. I had to do something. That's when I was trying to think of a plan. You fellows arrived talking about some incident at Baker Street. Ah! Poor Burp! I know! That's so horrible! No! I had to hide Madame Rosie in a hurry. So I stuffed her in my coat pocket and got in the cab with the pair of you. Oh, actually, that reminds me, like, back in summer, I found, like, a dead bird outside my, like, I don't go out in my backyard a lot, and, like, the view from my window, you can mostly see the grass, but I have, like, some pavement. And one day when I was walking back in the yard, and there was just a dead bird on my pavement, and I was just like, oh god, did it fly into the window? Like, man, that's so sad. So I buried it in the backyard, but man, what a situation. What could possibly have motivated you to behave in such a manner, Inspector? Lord Strongheart, sir. What? What? Lord Strongheart? Please tell me I didn't hear that right. The Lord Chief Justice who asked me to look after the bird in the first place. It's his bird! Lord Strongheart had a parakeet and now she's dead! You've been living with the pigeons at the Supreme Court until... The pigeons are canon? No! No, that's so dumb! No! Can we talk about our favorite Mo jokes to counter the sad? No! Shut up! You don't you bring up that guy in my Christian chat. How dare you? How dare you? Absolutely, how dare you? But apparently the other birds had started to pick on her. Oh my, if it isn't Mr. Right all the time. So for the past 6 months or so, I've been caring for her in my office at the yard. Because if the pigeons are canon, this is... I mean, okay, but, like... I'm not sure Momo's gonna get the context of that one for a while. Strongheart did it, I'm sure. He killed the burb. Oh, no. Typo, whoops. Yeah, it's fine. Wrong canon, I get it. I see. If anything happens to that bird, just imagine. No pay and no time off for the rest of my career. You mark my words. That's what's gonna happen. Ah, salary cutting jokes, yeah! Salary cutting noises. Oh, yes. How the pigeons in a canon device, huh? I know, right? That's why I will. With the victim's dying words, Inspector. The court heard earlier that Madame Rosie spoke the name of her assailant on her deathbed. That rotter, Sholmes, will be the death of me. Wait, is this like the parakeet copying Gregson? Wait, I can see that. Indeed she did. Quite uncalled for, wouldn't you agree? But those words are your true feelings, are they not, Inspector? I know, yes! Till you speak of me often at your office at the Yard, in this disparaging manner. A manner that the merry parakeet took much delight in mimicking. Oh, come on! I mean, have you read this month's edition of Friends magazine, eh? I... Sorry! This is all absolutely true. It's like, what? It's like, what? You gotta be shitting me! Ben Six is just like, are you for real? What is that face? What is that? What is that face? I'm crying. No. No. He's never made this face. What? He can look other ways than down. His eyes, they work. Something wrong with my scene. Okay. No, nothing. You don't seem okay. Are you sure? I prosecuted a case where a bird died. I'm officially at rock bottom. Wait. Is this their way of joking around about the other games having animals in them? Was this their, like, sneaky little homage to that? I almost drifted off for a moment there. We're in his brain! We're in his brain. That's... Oh, God. I'm having a heart attack. It's hard not to drift off when you've been kept waiting for 3 hours already. He was just like, I wonder if we'll manage to meet with Lord Strongheart at all today. I know there was the parrot, and I hear there was an orca. Yes, the parrot and the orca. I think that's about it. Yeah. Yeah, the parrot and the orca. I think it's the way to show Van Sieg's biggest threat, having kangaroo court about murder of non-human. Haha, I know, right? We may have to deliver the report on the Windy Bank case that he asked for on another day. Tell me, Inspector, what became of that bird? I don't know why, but I love these. It's like the only time that he ever wears this cape, like as a sprite. So I'm just like, screenshots. He's sexy. Madame Rosie, I mean, she had a narrow escape, but she's still alive. Yay! I delivered her back here a lot long ago, actually. A lot of Strongheart's orders. He's hoping the pigeons will accept her now. It was something of a shock to hear she'd been crushed in the doorway of your office. Especially as we were all under a misapprehension that Madame Rosie was a person. Sorry about that. That's what Stronghurst meant that... Oh, good, you're here. Dun, dun, dun! I apologize for my tardiness. I'm exactly 3 hours, 24 minutes, and 57 seconds late. Oh no, my lord. No, please don't trouble yourself. Nothing gives us greater pleasure than standing here doing nothing for hours on end. Parsoning. So, let us hear it then. Your report! The Winterbank Trail is concluded, but this is far from over. This is- oh, I love this. We're getting a lot of, like, did they just make these sprites? And they were like, well, we haven't been able to use these, like, front-facing in any of the other cases, so let's just, like, throw them here, because we have them. It seems that Dark Far Eastern lawyer and I have some shared destiny. Are they? No, I mean with the cape. With the cape. I just mean they haven't used him from this, like this. Yeah. That's what I mean. They haven't used his cape sprite like this. That's what I like. I feel like his hair looks different, but I don't know why. We will meet again. Of that I have no doubt. I know, but it looks better from this angle. Did you see that, Lord Van Six? Did you? I know, but they don't. Yes, I know. That's what I've been saying for these past 2 minutes. Is that we don't get them front facing, and that's what I like about this. I love it. Okay. Mina Mercy went flying off him on the pictures there. Happy as Larry she was. I did not see that. I was focusing on your stupid face. Real Inspector, you must be relieved. Amazing. Wow. Oh, yeah, I meant the angle. I meant the angle. That was what I meant when I said the post, but I just, you know, phrased it wrong. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that was it, because, like, I was gonna go through the, was it the gallery? I was gonna go through these, but they're just so fast. Like, they're too fast. Like, I can't read them. What an escapade! Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. That was amazing. No joke. Okay, fine. Free. No, wait, we can't do that. No, I can't. I'm sorry. Can't do that. Not with Momo's peering eyes. I mean, I guess I could turn off the visuals. Then I could probably do it if I do like this. Then I can play it for you. See, now I'll do it for you. There. It's fine. It's just it's just I have to scroll through a lot of spoiler description. No, I can't. I don't know that. Here you go.
Mit dem Schwarzbiergebot brodelt wie ein Feuerberg, den Schlund es mir verbrannt, ach,
Thumbs up.
Opfen deine Wut. Herr mit dem Knacker ich befahl, hat wie ein Diamant den Zahn entzwei es brach.
I'm so bad at German.
Über deine Wut.
I don't think you understand, Momo, how bad I am.
Dem seid holdlich gelobt und auf den ersten Streich alle Seiten des Teris wie Ode an die Wut. Her mit dem Schwarzbiergebot brodelt wie ein Feuerberg. Den Schlund es mir verbrannt.
Yeah, I chose German because I could get away with only doing that for 2 years. Okay, there you
dem Knacker ich befahl, hat wie
Yeah.
ein Diamant.
I mean, it's not that hard to understand.
Zahn entzwei es brach.
Oh, damn.
Über deine Wut. Herr dem seid holdlich gelobt und auf den ersten Streich alle Seiten des Teris wie Ode an
Yeah,
die
I don't know.
Wut. Herr
And it just continues like this. But yeah, I just out before I play anything dumb. Okay, there we go. it's just because it's like yeah, like you know all of the I don't know Gesundheit, so I suppose I can only wait for someone to sneeze to start any conversation. Schmetterling. No, that's 2 T's. I think it has 2 T's. Schmetterling. Okay, that was a lot of fun going through that. But I think it's about time we end things here for today, because bruh, there was a lot more reading than I was expecting. And I think that we're just gonna raid Joe Barra as usual. He is playing Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Of course, thank you guys so much for being here. We're gonna be back next week with some new stuff. We're gonna be playing. We're probably gonna be finishing Find Love or Die Trying, and then we are going to figure out what we're gonna play on Friday. I don't know. I might take a break off because I think I want to do something Sunday. But if I can't figure something out Friday, we could just like do a chill stream or something, watch videos, whatever. There's a lot of options. I definitely would like to start having sort of a chill stream every week. Like that's just like having fun. And I think that having that on Friday would probably be a good idea. Because it's like, ooh, winding down. I think that'd be good. So. Yep. Sunday will be my last stream before Christmas, and the next stream after that, I think, will not be before the, I don't think I can make it on the 28th. Maybe, but if not, it'll be the 29th, where we have, community game night, and we're playing Gartic Phone. I still need to figure out how to set that up, but it's fine, I still have time. I'm gonna do that after my exam, because I cannot think about it before then. So yeah, we're gonna raid Jobara, just do the usual meter raid or something, or unless you have a fun raid message. Anybody have a fun raid message? If not, we can just do the thingy. Good time. Jugame. The bird lives! Sure. Okay. Then I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Goodbye! Oyasamina!